Is it true Katt gave you money?
Katt did something for my brother where I will always hold the highest respect for him. There's nothing you could ever tell me wrong about this man.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life.
Ha.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, Shannon Sharpe. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay. Stopping by for conversation on a drink today is a fan favorite, a familiar face on the comedy circuit. He's been a stand-up comedian for almost 35 years. He was host of BET Comic View for 2 seasons. Def Comedy Jam alum, one of the most physical and fearless comedians ever, one of the day's best working artists, a dynamic actor and a writer. He has an infectious energy and a gift for storytelling. He leaves a crowd in tears, laughter. He performs the sold-out shows across the country. He calls himself one of the great fishermen. Let him tell you he was also a great athlete when he was younger. Harry, the homie. I hadn't seen this man in a long time, but we about to catch up. Mr. Arnez J.
Come on now.
See, there you go.
Come on now. That was pretty good. One of them things you read, I went, huh? No, but no, that was pretty good.
Is all this you?
That's all that's me.
All this you. 35 in the game.
I would not say that I'm a writer.
You're not a writer?
Nah, I'm not a writer. I'm a visionary. I visualize, and I see things in my head, and I guess it jots itself down.
Right. But you don't write down anything?
No, because I would get an F. Trust me.
You weren't good at school?
I have good penmanship.
Yeah.
No, I was good at school as far as learn it.
Right.
But the reason I said I wasn't good in school, because you and I have known each other for a long time.
Yes.
When I saw how brainy you were, I basically shut the hell up, because I was like, it don't make no sense a black man to talk with this much articulation in his brain, but he's straight country. I don't get it. I don't get that. He go catfishing, but he can hang out with the rest of the crew. I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
You are. You're intelligent. Very intelligent.
I appreciate that.
You really are.
You know what? Let's start off with this. You've been in the game 35 years, and a lot of, you always normally, not always, but you tell a story. One of your favorite storylines is you talk about your brother, Rodney. Everybody wants to know, how is Rodney doing?
Rodney, I will never, ever be able to let go out of my comedy because my fans won't allow it.
Right.
And I'm not one of these comedians, when somebody says, do this, you despite them and say, no, I'm not gonna do it because you don't feel like doing it.
Right.
You better feel like remembering who paid you, gotten you where you're at besides God.
Right.
So I'm very humble when my fans, they will not let Rodney ever go, because there's always a new story about Rodney, but they won't let him go, so I can't let him go. But before we get into all that, because I know this is your show and everything, I got something to ask you.
What you want?
Real talk.
Yeah.
You and I have known each other for a long time. I'm going to say
20.
I want to know what happened to us. The reason I'm asking you that is because
you know what happened.
No, why you interrupted? Because see, that's when people lie, that's how they do it. They jump in.
Okay, well, my bad.
Okay. The last time we connected, we were on the plane.
Yeah.
You sent me an invitation to you being inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I did.
I could not make it. And when I could not make it,
I cut you off.
You cut me off. Thank you for being honest about it. Thank you for being honest about it. Thank you, Jesus, for sticking your thumb in his eye. Why would you cut a friend off? And now, especially, you really need me.
I need you now.
I know. But now I don't know if I want to be with you. I don't know him.
Nah, what happened?
No. Please tell the truth.
Actually, we had a fishing trip planned before the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And then, I think you got scared because you didn't want because you brought up the fishing. I didn't bring up the fishing. You brought that up.
You're good at deflecting. I know that.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you how I got to tell the whole story. I got to add context.
Okay.
Because you just want to get right to the point. But no, there's something that led up. There's a series of events. It's kind of like the Lemony Snickers. There's a series of events that led to this.
Okay.
And the series of events, you and I having a conversation. Hey, yeah, Arnez, how you doing, man? Man, love your followed your career. Man, you was a hell of a player. Congratulations on everything, the Super Bowl, man. How was it? So we had a great conversation.
Got it.
Hey, you was courteous. I was receptive to courtesy. I thought we good.
We were good.
Call a couple of times. Hey, Jay, hey, Sharpe, man, how you doing? Man, I'm good, man. Glad you called. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Then had this fishing trip scheduled.
Okay.
I was like, okay. Man said he.
Where's the camera I can look in real quick? This one right here?
That's you.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so deep south say, hey, how you want to do? You want a line fish? You want a short fish? You want to go in the boat? Blah blah blah. Hey, man, I'm deep sea fishing. Black grouper. That's your thing.
It is.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
It is. Black grouper.
Yeah. Man, black grouper. I catch drum, sheephead. Blah blah blah. I said, okay, bro. What all the fancy name? I get all that.
I got it. Okay.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a look, because it wasn't no celebs in my little station. I ain't have no celebs. I don't really know nobody. I said, you know what? It'd be real nice when they pan the audience. They like, man, Sharpe know Arnez J. Yeah.
But I don't even hang out with celebrities like that.
I know.
I never have. I'm a loner. I mean, because me personally, not to say anything, but sometimes, there's a difference when you hang out with regular folks and then hang out with people who want to get to a place or are at that place.
Right.
And I ain't fronting for nobody. Plain and simple.
So
either you like me, you don't. I ain't got time.
And then you change your number.
Ooh, Lord. Okay, that's the story you gonna roll with?
You change your number. I tried to reach out to you. I DM'd you several times. Fell on deaf ears.
Yeah. Bullshit. but okay. I just want to know what happened. And
to the best of your recollection.
What? Best of my recollection is I get a invite. To your inauguration.
Hall of Fame induction. Yes.
Yep. You were going in.
Yes.
And I was so overjoyed and happy for you. I wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
I could not go because I could not get out of my contract. I had a contract. They wasn't trying to hear. They wasn't trying to let me out of a contract at that time to go.
Okay.
I could have just said, no, I'm not going to. But other than just you, I also have to think about my fans that paid their money.
Yeah, I get that.
So I have to go both ways. I tried to get a hold of you. There was no number to get a hold of you. There was blank. It was, that one famous sound? It was one of them things.
The number you call is no longer in service.
Yeah.
You feel you reached this number.
You ain't even got to do all of that. As soon as you hear, you already know.
Yeah.
Just hang up. No, man. So that is always kind of.
I started saying them folk look for you.
What folk?
The folk to look for you.
I'm just saying, bro. I was just wondering what happened. And this is what I feel. What true friends do.
Yeah.
They can talk.
Yes.
And they can. Sometimes people can't deal with the truth.
Absolutely.
So that's why I asked, because I even told my road manager Roderick. I said, look, this is one of the first things I need to ask him, because it has bothered me for so long.
It bothered me. Then people ask me like, man, because a lot of times, obviously, Club Shay Shay, I've had a lot of comedians on. A lot of comedians.
Yeah.
They're like, man, when you gonna have Arnez J? I said, that's a good question. I said, when y'all see him, ask him.
I've been seen.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying about all of them, but I've been seen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's what everybody be like, man, you did this one and that one. Man, you had all the OGs from Comic View and Def Comedy Jam. I said, yeah, I know. I said, man, what about
They call me Triple OG now. Triple. What y'all know about that? You ain't got triple on you. Triple. You got all these youngs in here working for you.
Yeah. Let me ask you this about Rodney. When did you realize that he was going to be a part of your show? Because you mentioned the term, you say Rodney's not handicapped, he has a condition. And sometimes, we've done away with the word handicap and we say, okay, he's challenged. Or
now, because the word used to be they slow They slow,
Or
you know,
they use the
especially.
R, or they use the R word. Yeah.
Yeah.
That we don't.
Yeah, I know, but I said it.
Yeah.
I mean, see, this is what I mean.
Okay.
Because you changed a word don't mean it's different. You get enough pressure put on you, you know, things change, you know. But I feel this is one of the most inconsistent countries in the world. United States is inconsistent.
Right.
We'll go just, you know, and I'm not trying to jump on, you know, all this, but why is a young black guy that may commit a crime at 17 is called a man, but a young white guy at 18 is still called a teenager?
Right.
I don't get that. I don't get that, and I will never get it, and I won't be quiet about it.
Okay. Now, Rodney, at what point in time early in your career did you say, you know what, I'm gonna add him to the show?
Rodney has always been a part of the show from day one.
Right.
Because I've been a big kid from day one. My eyesight and my visualization of what I've seen in life has always been about expression.
Okay.
You have to realize when you're a person that is a loner, what do you have to do? You have to entertain yourself. When you entertain yourself, you see things that other people don't see.
Correct.
You mimic things that other people just don't think about mimicking. When I got my first Hot Wheel track, we used to get towed with a Hot Wheel track.
Correct.
That was an orange extension cord. You understand what I'm saying?
Cars would go around the track, and the track would go on your.
Yeah, and then you say that to somebody now, a Hot Wheel track, a Hot Wheel.
Right.
Yeah, well, look it up.
Right.
Do your research.
Right.
You know, and the world revolves so much, and there's so much information for us to gather.
Right.
So when I added Rodney into the show, Rodney helped me. I didn't help him.
Okay.
But what I did do is I emboldened Rodney. If you ever look at my comedy, I never target anyone in my comedy.
Correct.
I don't target people because to me, that's not comedy.
Right. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
That's not comedy. Even within the chapters of other comedians, people used to say, oh, all he does is do flips and jump around. That's my style of comedy.
Right.
You sit down on a microphone, you just talk.
Right.
You giving your information. I'm giving my information. And if they are laughing with my information, where is the problem? Why are you losing sleep over what I do? That belongs to me.
Right.
My fans are in my life for a reason. I'm very overprotective of my fans. So when I do Rodney, I'm not the one that want to bring up Rodney. My fans want me to do him.
Right.
So when he's done, because there's so much with him, I make Rodney strong. Yeah, people may say he's handicapped or challenged, but I make him strong.
Right.
People, you know how many women always tell me, where your brother at? Can I talk about that thing on it?
Right.
But I don't care because he may be slow or whatever you want to say.
Right.
They want to see that thing.
Does Rodney know you're doing him in your comedy?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Rodney hit me upside the head one time with a Superman lunch bell. You know those, they used to make the characters
Yes, absolutely.
in the garage. So that thing reverbed.
Yeah.
He hit me so, people don't understand. You mess with people challenge, they got strength.
They
real strong.
Yeah.
Real strong.
Yeah.
I mean real strong.
Yeah.
He hit me with that thing, but my brother, they didn't see me making fun of them.
Okay.
They see their brother who loves them talking about them and include me in it. Right. I strengthened who he was.
Right.
Not lessen. Like we did a show, two weeks ago, Rod? It was Buffalo, New York. Guy came into the show, sat right up front. He had a drifting eyeball.
Oh, Lord.
One went that way, and the other one scanned the room. Instead of running away from him, I walked up to him while he was there, and his girl. I said, yo, man, I'm just going to say this. And this is exactly how I said, I'm going to say this. Nigga, you got me f***ed up right now because I can't see where I'm going. I'm thinking, I'm talking to you when you really over here.
So he had an eye that scanned.
But yes, but he laughed at himself because I did not diminish him.
Right.
And I had other people, I said, you right across from me, are you okay? I added him in
To the show.
to me, not to make fun of him, but to say, okay, you got a straight eye and one that's scanning, it's okay.
Right.
But I'm gonna talk about it.
Right.
But that's yours, you own it. Because if you didn't own it, you'd have had on some shades. I wouldn't have seen it.
Right.
But I seen that eye, and I told him, and I said, and I think you did it on purpose because there's some fine women here, and I think you slick, looking straight ahead so your girl don't know that you ain't doing it, but that other eye catching it. You think you slick, but I got you.
Do you think, like you mentioned, like, okay, the gentleman that had the eye issue, do you think because obviously he knows it, that was not the first time he had heard it, but do you?
But he heard it in a different manner,
right?
probably.
But do you think because he owned his frailty that therefore someone couldn't make him feel insecure about it? Is that how you
say that one more time?
I say, do you think because he had heard that before for such a long time that he owned it, that therefore you couldn't make him feel insecure about that?
No, I don't think that. I do think he owned it,
right?
But I don't think that he didn't think that I couldn't make him feel insecure.
Right.
I'm dangerous. I can make you feel insecure.
Right.
But that's not what
that wasn't the purpose of that.
It's never the purpose of that. I don't choose to do that.
Right.
I'm not one of those ones you want to get in the dozens with.
Right.
I bring up your mama. I don't. I bring people out of the grave. I don't care. Don't play that. Won't get that.
I thought you said you didn't do mamas.
I said what did I just say? Did you listen?
No. Yes. We were talking about it earlier. You say you do dads, but you don't do moms.
What I said, I could bring up the mama or people from the grave.
Right.
But I choose not to even want to do. I choose not to do that. And then the mamas, I'm not into talking about people's mamas. That's your birthplace.
Right.
That's where you came out of.
Right.
That's the woman that looked at you and said, you my child.
Right.
Dad across the way somewhere, eating a McDonald's burger or something. I don't know, but man, please.
Okay, you mentioned, you got a brother that's challenged.
I do.
Do other people that maybe come to your show that might be challenged, have they ever said, Arnez?
Never.
Wow.
5 or 6 times, if not more. I've had a group of challenged people that were brought in to come and see my show.
Wow.
I had a lady out there doing sign language at my show.
Wow.
Yeah, sign language.
What if she wasn't saying what you were saying, though?
Well, this is how I tested it. I'm glad you said it. That's my proof right there. I said, say what I say, and you better be doing it right. So I'm going, yeah, baby, put it in. She was like, I said, no, put it in, baby. Stick it in there. She started going like that. I said, yeah, you doing it right. You doing it right. You doing it right. Yeah, so I just, because there are some that don't, like that one that was in Africa, give a sign language.
Yeah. And a lot of them be doing it, they just be up there, they don't be doing nothing. They like their manager talking about steal second.
Yeah, he left the car in the parking lot. We're talking about a nuclear bomb. So I never, that I know of, received any bad honest from anybody that's challenged, because I embrace them.
Right.
I don't mock them. I don't try to hurt anybody that. I don't believe in that, because like I said, my family is very dysfunctional.
Right.
Very. I don't even look like anybody in my family. Still today. And it gets to me.
Right.
He told me don't cry because I get my feelings. But I remember when my grandmother passed. Mm-hmm. I was a flight attendant, and I was in my flight attendant uniform, and I had to go.
Who in the hell you work for? Who let you be a flight attendant?
I flew for Continental Airlines for 7 years, bro.
Mm. Might explain why.
I handle my business. Cuz.
Plane go down. You the first one off. You supposed to be the last
I ain't gonna be the last one.
You a flight attendant.
Show me in the rule book where it says Arnez J is supposed to be the last one off the plane.
Because
we had a bomb threat one time. We did. We had a bomb threat.
we gonna get.
Yeah, we can get. But what was I talking about? Because you grew my train of thought.
No, you say you don't look like anybody.
Yeah, I don't like, because when I was at my grandmother's funeral, I told my aunt before I left, because I had to go catch a flight. I said, Auntie, I'm getting ready to go talk to Dad before I leave out of here and stuff.
Were you dressed in your flight attendant?
I was. Because I had to go straight to the airport.
You didn't want to? Okay, go ahead.
I had to go straight to the airport.
Okay, straight.
And my aunt said, oh, you mean the man that raised you? What? What? Can you imagine as a grown-up, you hearing that
Yeah.
for the first time? I'm like, what?
That wasn't your.
She go, to talk to your mama. My world is, now you don't got my world just got blew up. I already don't look like nobody in the family. Then you tell me the man that raised me. I go to my mama and I said, Mama, I need to ask you a question before I leave. Please be honest with me. I said, Mama, is Daddy my real daddy? I'll tell you what she did. Boy, and walked off. That's not an answer.
It wasn't the answer you wanted to hear, but you got the answer.
Boy, go on with that. That's not an answer. Yay or nay. Yes or no is the answer.
Did you ask her again? Did you ever ask her again?
No.
That was it.
Because I knew she wasn't going to answer it.
But did you know deep down? Did you know?
No, I didn't. That's the problem. You have to realize, even as adults, a lot of times we don't get closure on things that mess with us when we were a child or that have been through our life.
Right.
And me being a loner like I was and like I still am in somewhat, but I have a great family, so I'm not a loner. I have a great partner, my wife.
Do you have siblings? Do you have brothers and sisters?
I do.
It's a yes or no.
No, listen to what I'm getting ready to say.
Okay, I'm listening.
I do.
Okay.
I have two sisters that are left, and we don't speak.
Why? Life's too short, Arnez.
Do you want to know the story, or you just...
No, seriously, I want to know the story. I think the audience want to know the story.
Okay. And people get shocked because there's a lot more people like me.
Before you go, how long, when was the last time you spoke to them?
Almost 4 years ago, 3 to 4 years. Oh, one, it's been about 8 years.
Okay.
One, it's been about 4 years. It's 4 years now.
Okay.
Maybe even 5.
Okay. You want to discuss what caused this falling out?
One of my sisters it's kind of always been that way. She had maybe some little mental issues going on, and we just weren't close.
You weren't close. Even as growing up as...
Yeah, we weren't close.
Okay.
And one time she called me one day, kind of out the blue, stating that she was getting ready to get, put out, and I'm her brother. Are you calling me? So I fly all the way to Kansas City, Missouri to help her. I get there, I call her, no answer. Texting her, no reply.
Let me get it straight. Your sister called you. She's about to get evicted, put out, whatever the case may be, from her home.
Because of supposedly why they was doing it was the wrong reason. So I want to talk to, I had my team because we were going to talk to the
landlord or whoever.
And I kept texting her. I done flew from Atlanta to go Kansas City. You ain't answering the phone.
Did you tell her you were coming?
Yes.
Okay. She knows you're coming.
Text her. Where you at? I'm here. No answer. I stayed through the whole weekend. Monday morning, I get home. Monday afternoon, I get a text. Still today, I saw her name and that she had texted me. And then I saw, this is all I saw. I didn't, when I said I didn't know, as far as I read.
So to this day, you still haven't read the remainder of the text?
You want to know the truth?
Yeah.
And please, my audience, forgive me. I don't give a because you took my heart and you stomped on it. How many times you gonna stomp on my heart? I'm there to help you.
Mm-hmm.
You had me fly there. And please forgive me. Even Rod tells me, man, don't you think, well, maybe you should just try to talk. Why would I try to talk? And you haven't reached out. You haven't reached out. But that one text when I got back, and you have not reached out to me.
Do you think she was embarrassed because she's having to call her brother and ask for assistance? Do you think there was a level of embarrassment? Do you think
you wasn't that embarrassed when you asked me to help you? You wasn't that embarrassed when I told you I'm getting on a plane? You wasn't that embarrassed and said, okay, I'll be here, just call me when you get in? You wasn't embarrassed then. We're bloodlined.
Yeah.
You can't be embarrassed. Not when you're asking a person for help, that person has reciprocated to say, I'm going to help you. But you're nowhere to be found. Where is the embarrassment?
Wow.
And I don't even know why she didn't. And like I stated, she may have had some mental issues going on. She's always been that way. But you took me away from my family to come and help you. And you didn't reciprocate to me when I got there. You let me stand out there with my ass open. Out there by myself looking for you.
Do you think did it ever occur to you she might have had an episode?
No. Because that's not how it started. That's not how that text even started. I didn't know, meaning
I didn't know you were coming. When in actuality, we had talked, and I told you I'm getting on a plane. I told you I'm coming to help.
Not only did talk, we talked for 3 days before I came out there. And that's not even the worst. The worst is the sister now, the youngest.
Are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
Okay.
My sister is the youngest now. My brother died.
Okay. With Rodney?
No, that was Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. Are you the oldest in the family?
Yes.
Okay, you're the oldest. Okay.
He died by himself, meaning he died alone. My other brother before him died. By himself. In a hotel room. He was eating Burger King 4 times a day. They said his arteries were so clogged, you could barely see the vein lines. That's all he ate. So when I say I come from a dysfunctional family, I come from a very dysfunctional family.
Were you guys, when you were growing up, when you were 7, 10, 12, 15, were you...
I had to take care of them.
Oh. Do you believe they view you as a father figure instead of a brother?
I think they viewed me as, when I started becoming who I was, that I was supposed to take care of everything.
So they do.
My sister, the youngest, when my brother died, we were gonna cremate him because he had been in a hotel room for so long by himself and never checked on him. So I was saying, okay. And she just kept directing. I said, wait a minute, wait. This is how we need to do it. She kept trying to chastise. I said, whoa, back up. Hold on, shorty, hold up. I'm the oldest here. She had the people at the morgue, or the people that do the death certificate, she said there's only one death certificate to be done, and it was to go to her only.
How did she get to make that decision?
That's my point. She thought that she was to take charge. So I said, okay, I'm gonna allow you to do this. Because guess who had to pay the money for the cremation and everything? You see him in this room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny, people that's gonna do the least want the most responsibility.
That part.
You let her handle it though.
I let her handle it.
Okay.
But then she tried to chastise me. And I pumped the brakes and I said, look here. And my fans, they don't see this side of me.
Right.
This is what I hold inside. That's why my fans are so important to me. I get to release and make them laugh. When I see them laugh, it turns me on. It makes me feel better who I am. Because they are that important to me. That's why I'm this long standing in this business right now. My special aired, and I'm gonna get back to this. My special aired 18 days ago, now 19 days, something, on the 5th day of a special that went straight to YouTube that Netflix turned down. You think I was gonna cry over that? I had already done one on Netflix, but you think I was gonna cry over that? Now I have full ownership at YouTube. The 5th day, and look and see how many people has done this. The 5th day, I was at 1 million views in 5 days. At 18, we're now at 1.5 something. In 18 days.
Wow.
On YouTube.
And you own it.
By the way, it's called Arnez J, Not Gonna Stop. Anyway, so I own that.
Right.
Thank you, Netflix. They're a great company. They're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
But maybe my type of comedy, the way I do it, wasn't for them.
At that time, who knows? You might come back.
But here's the thing with that. I do comedy for the people. There's a whole bunch of audience for my type of comedy because I'm that clown. I've even had other comedians used to call me, tried to say I was stepping fetch it. I'm a clown. I don't care. That clown got me a nice house, nice way of life, being that clown. Like I said, that's my type of comedy. But my sister tried to chastise me, and this is when it blew up. And I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I trust you. I trust your people. And maybe it's something that I need to get out because it's getting ready to come out.
Right.
I told her, I said, let me explain something to you. When you were in college and you had these girls that wanted to beat your ass because you was messing with one of their boyfriends that played football, who came to your rescue. It wasn't mama, it wasn't daddy, it was your big brother. They put the word out, don't touch that one. When you needed money, who gave it to you? It wasn't your mama, it wasn't your daddy, it was your big brother. When you had your child by this dude, you needed money, who gave it to you? It wasn't your mama, it wasn't your daddy. But you're gonna try to chastise me, and this is exactly how I said it. I didn't f you. That boy's daddy's the one that laid with you, the school teacher, that you're afraid to go get child support from. But you get mad at me because I'm telling you what you need to do? Only person you hurting is my nephew and me. These are the only two people you hurting. You hurting us too. But because of you, I'm not gonna be with him. Then she put it out there on social media. If my brother died, it feels like I'm so sad, I'm so depressed. I lost my last brother.
But you still. But. Did Did you pinch yourself like, well, damn, I'm still...
Shannon, when she said that, I said, you know what?
That's it.
So let it be written, so let it be done. I bet you call me before I ever pick up a phone to call you.
So that means you haven't talked to your nephew either?
Nope. And I got a little video of him that I look at all the time, that I made. I look at that video all the time.
When you talk to your wife about it, does she say, Arnez?
Nope. She might ride or die.
Right.
She know the situation. Mm-hmm. And she ain't the one you want to play with either, though.
But you do realize, Arnez, that's you said it earlier in the conversation that that's blood.
So what are you supposed to do with blood? When blood, through the blood.
Yeah, you know, sometimes and it's,
all family members ain't meant to be family.
Sometimes the only family is the bloodline because you have nothing.
This guy to my right,
Yeah,
my road manager, Roderick.
that's your left, but okay.
Oh yeah, well, I guess because I used my. Didn't I tell you how smart he was? Don't know how to be stupid for a minute. Well, actually, he does.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
I didn't say. I'm just saying. My mouth hit the floor.
Yeah.
And I feel.
In time.
I'm just saying. Can I say this one thing?
No, we early in the conversation. We're in the conversation. We got to get like another 20, 30 minutes in.
It was gonna be quick, but okay.
But you was about to say your road manager is more family
Than my family.
than actual family.
If I call him, he coming.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I pay him, because his heart is coming.
Mm-hmm.
His heart is in that car, not his pocket. His pocket's in that car. I'm gonna feel you out. I'm gonna see you for what you are. Then I'll handle it accordingly. I don't have a lot of people around me. Some of my best friends, mainly all fish. Fish. We love to fish.
Mm-hmm.
My fans, I don't care if it's one person in the audience or just 10,000. I give everything that I got when I'm on that stage. Everything I got. And I've been doing that for 34, 35 years. I refuse to let negativity win with me.
I was about to ask you, you strike me as a person that I will not let whatever's going on in my life personally impact what I have to do professionally.
No. When they told me my mama passed, guess what I was doing? Take a wild guess.
Fishing.
Nope.
On stage.
I was about to walk out on stage. And I got grabbed. Wait, take this call. I'm getting ready to go out. They called my name. Take this call. Arnez, mama's gone. She didn't make it.
Did a part of you like, damn?
I gave the best show I ever given in my life.
Because that's what your mom would have wanted you to do, or you felt you was obligated?
I had energy.
You needed that at that time.
I needed that. If I didn't have that, I would have broken apart. When they told me my brother died, guess where I was? On the air doing an interview talking about molesting. That had happened to me. And I was getting a lender to somebody else. My mama called me and told me my brother died. I crawled on my knees back in the studio, on my knees, and got back on that microphone. But when my mother died, best show I'd ever given in my life. I couldn't have done nothing that would ever succeed that. As soon as I got off the stage, and she was in Orlando, or she was in Kissimmee. I was in Miami. I jumped in a car. I swear to God, I must have been hitting about 110 all the way to Kissimmee. Then I said to myself later on, why?
She gone.
You know why though?
Why?
Because that phone call did not go out on that stage, but the energy from that phone call, the grief, I grieved after I got off that stage and wanted to get to her as if I could save her. She was gone.
Yeah.
My mom at one point hurt me at one time. She said, because I used to wonder, why do you seem to treat the other kids differently than me? You know what she told me?
What'd she tell you?
Because I don't worry about you. I know you're going to make it. They need me.
I think older kids get that a lot.
She said, I'm not worried about you. I won't have to worry about you. But your brothers and sisters, those are the ones I got to worry about. Made sense?
It made sense, but I don't know how old when you asked her this or how old you was when she told you this, but at the time, you just wanted your mom to like, no, that's not the truth, because I love all y'all to say. Even though you know that's a lie.
It was. It
You know
was.
it's a lie.
Because you were raised by your grandmother.
I absolutely was.
And I'm going to say this. People sometimes that are raised men, I'm going to say men.
Yes.
Because I'm a man, you're a man.
Correct.
Men that are sometimes raised by a grandmother sometimes suffer trauma from the other side of the family that affects them as they get older.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of happened
Manifested.
to me. Yeah. You have to adjust. And like I said, I'm not trying to make this a down Debbie conversation, but we speaking truth, and I don't get to do this.
Right.
I don't get to let my friends know who I am.
Right.
You know, I don't, I beat to the beat of my own drums.
Is that why you're so animated? You're so hyped. You're sweating like a Baptist minister at revival.
Yeah.
Is that why you're so animated? You're so engaged with your audience because all this trauma, all this stuff is built up in your personal life. And now I get to be the real Arnez J out here in front of 10,000, 15,000 people.
I think when I do that also that, I think that's part of it. I think there's a lot of part of it though. But I think I take on this armor. And I even tell my friends sometimes, you here, you made it here, now I got you. Release everything that's going on wrong with you. Let it come into me, I got it.
Got you.
Then I'm gonna turn it around, spin it out differently. Because like Rod and I were talking, and we were talking, I said, well, there's a lot of people that, the comedy world, where I'm at, because I can't say nothing about the music world, because I'm not in the music world.
Correct.
But I'm in this comedy world.
Yeah.
And I've been there from the very early to the now.
Mm-hmm.
The comedians nowadays, are they lazy? I think so. Internet has helped them be lazy.
I get that.
When we used to do comedy, you had to grind, Jay. Grind to get 3 to 5 minutes. I never, that's why I know God has me in a different light, in a different way. Okay. I never featured one time, meaning I featured one time in a club, comedy club, which was in Mobile, Alabama. I featured one time. After that, I said, I'm not featuring for nobody else. I'm the one that got myself into the clubs. A lot of these cats nowadays, they can't really get themselves in the club. They need agents and management or whatever. I got myself into a club. Then I got management. This is a cutthroat business. A lot of these comedians that are out here, and it's sad, there's a lot of great comedians. But unfortunately, somebody asked me, do comedians want other comedians to fail? Hell yes, they do.
I'm glad you brought that up because you know I had Katt on here.
I do.
And a lot of
I think the world know you had him on here.
But Jay, people got mad at me because they said I shouldn't allow him. I was like,
Wait a minute, wait. You shouldn't allow him to do what?
I shouldn't allow him to say what he said about those comedians.
Why?
I was like, y'all make it seem like I knew what he was going to say.
Can we be honest?
Yes,
That was the best thing that you did,
it was.
monetarily also.
Yes.
So, was there a moral involved in that? I don't know, because I don't really know you like that.
Right.
Would anybody else might have done that same thing? Hell yeah, they would have.
So a lot of people, and I believe a lot of people that was in the space that I do podcasting, I believe they got upset with me because he didn't say what he said on their podcast. He said it on mine, and I got the benefit from it. But there have been comedians that said, "Oh, he shouldn't have said that. He should have checked him." I was like, "Bro, how do I?"
And who are those comedians that said?
I don't want to get
No. Because I'm not going to talk about them, but the reason I asked you that, because then I can give you a revelation to that.
But I know, because I think a lot of the comedians were close to the comedians that he was talking about.
There lies in the problem. There lies in the problem of, I know Katt, I know Kevin, I know Mike,
Steve said,
I know all of them. But when they beef with each other, I know all of them. I love this man here. I love that man there. But I also know you are what he said you are. You do what you said he did. That's y'all's beef. That's not for me to get involved. Do I want y'all to do it? No, I do not. I do not want you to do it. It's how you handle the adversity that's put upon you. If you're going to do what you're going to do, you're going to do what you're going to do.
correct,
But always expect
something to come back.
something to come back. If you can expect it, then you can sleep. But if you get in shock mode, say, I can't believe this happened, you ain't going to have no good night's sleep. You ain't going to have no good night's sleep.
I think in a large part, because like you said, you can't speak to the music industry because you're not in it. You can't speak to, say, whatever else because you're not in it. You're in the comedy space. So you knew a lot of this. I don't believe the outside world knew a lot of this. And what Katt did was,
Of course they didn't.
Katt peeled back the cover and allowed people that's not in that comedy space to see that there's this animosity going on. And a lot of people say, well, he shouldn't have said that. He should have just gone to the individual, and whatever personal issue he might have had with, he should have addressed it.
Really?
That's what they're telling me. But I'm like, bro, why? I was like, I didn't.
Everybody always needs to talk.
Yeah.
Everybody always needs to say something. Everybody always needs to offer that information, what they think how it should be. If y'all don't want this, then stop watching social media. Get rid of it. But you want it because there's always something interesting on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it on your show.
Correct.
It was that time, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't get mad at you. I may even have an opinion to say, you know what? Yeah, maybe you let him go a bit too far. I could say that.
Right.
But I can't say that because then I wonder. They say, well, what? You know what I can't stand what people do? I wouldn't have.
That's
That word, I wouldn't have. Who in the fuck is I wouldn't have? I know you did.
right.
I know that $5 million went to somebody's pocket. I know it didn't go to somebody else's pocket.
Right.
You know what a lot of comedians hate?
What?
When somebody says, oh, he's funny or she's funny, but they didn't mention their name.
I got that too.
They didn't mention their name. You know what a comedian may say? Oh, he's all right. Or she's all right. That's deep animosity. Me, I don't watch other comedians.
Really?
Nah, I don't watch them. People at one time, long time when I was going to come, and it's mainly a lot of LA comics, used to say, oh, he's stealing material. Motherfucker, I'll do it in front of you. You know, and then you have to show them you're not the one to be played with.
Right.
And being that I was always kind of by myself, but I walked by myself. I walked in a crowd by myself. Somebody said, oh man, somebody looking for you. Really? So when I see them, I heard you looking for me. What up?
Nah, we good.
But it's just like when you had Ocho, you were doing something with Ocho.
Yeah.
And the brother that was told me he's gonna knock him out or whatever the case may be. Y'all try to demean Ocho by saying he'll hurt you.
Right.
But you couldn't take Ocho's heart.
No.
Even though he may think this brother might hurt me.
Right.
Why in the world would he allow you to see that?
Right.
Shannon, you're a big dude. You talking shit to me right now, you think I'm gonna run out this room? I'm gonna start taking stuff off. What are we gonna do?
It's gonna take you a while to get that
No, I'm gonna leave this on. I might use this bitch. Did you see this rock? Oh, and this beautiful, I think it's beautiful.
Yes.
Was made by a brother, two brothers in Atlanta, Georgia. And that thing is called, Rod got the name for me, he's gonna give it to me. They made this especially for me.
Okay.
I told him I had my watch on, I said I want to kind of go with the watch.
Right.
Had this done in 3 days. And what's that?
With the Instagram?
Yeah.
JASET75.
JASET75. Okay. So in case you want it, he makes bracelets, makes chains. Good brother.
Yeah.
Chatty, but a good brother.
Yeah. You want something big to be seen?
Yeah, because everybody ain't got muscles. Everybody ain't got these things he got. I know you got little niggas in there, but that's all right. Everybody.
So when you saw the Katt video,
Talk to me.
what do you like? Oh my goodness! Oh, Katt, let the Katt. His original.
You want to know
name.
my opinion?
Yes. What did you think? Did you really know it was like this, Arnez?
I know he lied when he said he was running that 4-2.
I know he said he can beat you.
No, that's a triple lie. At Kevin Hart, Katt Williams, and Arnez J raced. You were doing a show.
Right.
I think it was Cleveland. I can't remember. You asked both of them who won.
You outran Katt,
And I'm older than both of them.
You outran Katt and Kevin Hart.
You don't want to mess with that right there. You don't want to mess with that, cuz. You don't want to mess with that. These are Slim Jims. You don't want to mess with a Slim Jim. See, you have to realize, I ran track. I played baseball.
But that was
I played football. I could give a less, if it was right before Jesus graduated. I still did it.
How do you know they did? Cam went out for the basketball team.
Kept play a little ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we talking running.
But you saw Katt raining them jumpers. He was a lethal shooter, raining them jumpers, threes at the top of the key. You saw it.
I got mine on film.
You saw it.
I got mine on film. I told this dude get it out the net before I shot it. Then I shot one, it was in the air. I said, go, why you move to the left? It's coming down.
This man.
One thing I ain't gonna do is lie.
Well, since you're not gonna lie, when you heard him going in on certain people that he was talking about, what is your opinion? Like you said, what you're not gonna do is what he should have done or what he shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
What was your opinion on the conversation he and I was having?
My thing when I heard it, I said, okay, it's the can is open now. Mm-hmm. But see, you have to realize, with me, I don't get involved with that. Mm-hmm. See, here's the problem a lot of people have. A lot of comedians, and they come into the game real young and stuff. I mean, I was young and stuff, but I was already married with a child. I was already doing a man's life.
Okay.
I didn't have a bunch of family that was like the Wayans brothers. I didn't have all of that.
Right.
I didn't have a big family like that. I had Arnez J and who he's taking care of.
Right.
My thing was to take care. Let me do my job and go home. Mm-hmm. Did I fuck up sometime? You damn straight I did.
Right.
But it happens.
Right.
It's how you deal with it. No, I don't want. No, I didn't click. I'm not a clicker.
Okay.
I don't have time to click. I have time to do a job and get it done. People say, why aren't you in more movies? There's a lot of reasons why I'm not in more movies. Some people at one point said, well, he can't act. Well, I know that's a lie. Some of the best acting is not acting. It's being who you are.
Correct.
And all this stuff doesn't happen now. Now the flowers are coming. People call me the triple OG and everything else and give me the respect. People Instagram and saying, hey man, I apologize for this back then. Once again, I'm not the fire starter. If you respect me, I give you the respect. I go to battle for you. But if you try to demean me, you can't demean something that God created that will not be demeaned. Do you realize how many people, and as well as in your case, want to see you not succeed?
Yes.
That's why my special is called Not Gonna Stop. I'll probably be telling jokes when I'm in my coffin. I don't know. Something may happen.
Right.
I may turn a flip in that bad boy. Who knows? I don't know. But what I'm saying in this business, Shannon, there's so many people that want other people to fail that they might have a chance to succeed.
Did you know it was like this when you got into business? Was it always like this?
I started finding out, yes. Oh, yes. Especially when people become territorial. There's people that used to think LA comics were the funniest comics in the world, that it had to go through them.
What?
Man, I can tell you some stories blow your mind. Some of that stuff Katt got ain't shit what I know.
What? You got to?
No, it ain't what happened.
But I tell you what, but hold on. You and Rickey Smiley had an issue. Y'all put it to bed after 20 years. How did y'all come to say, you know what, man, come on, man. We grown. We got grand.
How do you really want to ask that question?
Well, though, how I really want to ask
it how you want to ask it. Don't sugarcoat.
What caused the beef, and then what idea was it to squash the beef after 20 years?
Well, Rickey can say I caused it, and I'm damn gonna say he caused it.
Right.
It started out of Atlanta. And that's when you should have asked Katt and DL what happened. He got a misunderstanding, but the problem that I had was you have the misunderstanding, like you said, come to me.
Right.
But he went to the black social media and said, I disrespected. And here's where the problem came in the Atlanta Constitution. Here's where the problem came in at. You didn't give me a chance to say nothing.
Right.
You know why? I was on the Tom Joyner cruise where we both were supposed to be.
Right.
He didn't come. I went. I can't defend myself. I'm on the ocean. But they printed it anyway. But everybody know him. Everybody know me. So to say, and we were young, but still, I was fine. I'm always fine. I'm only not fine until you come in my zone and you come in with the wrong intentions. It was squashed because God said it was time. We were on a plane.
You both have to be on the plane.
Check this out. We were both on the plane. I sat in the wrong seat.
Look at him. Won't he do it?
Do it when he wanted.
And he ended up having to sit next to you.
No, I sat in the wrong seat.
Yes. And then Rickey ended up sitting next to you.
Right, because I went to my seat and I sat down and I didn't even know it was him. And he turned and said, Arnez. I don't know if it was nerves or if it was, because I'm out the Poke Bean Projects. And you that close?
The Poke Beans.
We laughed.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit up here. We laughed. We I can call him. He can call me. But people have to realize one thing about fans. Fans aren't stupid. They really aren't. And my fans, I don't call fans, and I apologize. My fans are fams. That's how I feel about when I perform for them. I'm performing for them. Yeah, you paid your money, but I'm
make sure you get your money worth.
whatever happened to you at your job, I got you today. You know, when you broke up with somebody, I got you today. I give, man, do you realize like a lot of people don't see me dressed like this. People know I can dress. I wear certain things accordingly.
Interesting.
I dress to my own beat. Yeah.
So you came here.
You little smart ass.
No.
I dress to the way that I feel. Yes, I feel like a black king right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like a sugar booger right now. Yeah, I feel like the pimp of the slimps right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I just walked out of the 60s right now. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
That's how you feel?
I feel that. I mean, everybody can't wear golf gear and look like that. Everybody can't wear golf gear. I bet you ain't got one pair of loose underwear. I bet you all of them tight.
Yeah. I'm still fairly young. I wear boxers to bed, but I don't wear boxers out in the street.
Neither do I. I wear tights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And you older than me.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. I'd still beat you arm wrestling though.
That happened.
Yeah, I could.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You joke telling. Let's go with joke stealing first.
Okay.
Where are you on joke stealing? Because look, I've had a lot of, like I said, I've had a lot of comedians on here, and some says, okay, is that your only joke? Is that the last joke you're gonna ever tell? If it's not, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Some say, no, hell to the no. You ain't been to steal it and try to rearrange and make it this and say that when you know the premise of that joke is mine.
So what are you asking me?
I'm asking you, where are you on this joke stealing?
I'm very agitated about joke stealing. Watch this. I know you ain't putting the camera on. Roderick, how do I feel about joke stealing?
You are dead set against it.
I took somebody off my crew who I love because they did a joke that somebody did and they couldn't understand what was the problem. I said, I tell you what, you go home and sit about a month. You come back, you keep looking at it. You sit about a month, then you come back to me. Tell me what's going on. It is a must that you be original. As original as you can be. I'm not saying people don't sometimes have a concept.
Yeah, because I mean,
because black people have everybody black know about Kool-Aid, grape Kool-Aid, bologna sandwiches.
Yes.
But it's how you do it. You know when it belongs to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. You do.
You know when it belongs to somebody else. No matter how all the excuses you try to make.
Mm-hmm.
You know when it belongs to somebody else. But yet you want to go, you think because you get a laugh for it, you don't look. The worst thing I hate when a comedian says, I ripped it. I've never said that. I've never said that. I've never said I ripped it. I've never said I tore the house down. I look at a comedy as a war sometimes. I want you to be good. If I go behind you, I'm coming with everything I got. If I go in front of you, stand by and be ready.
So it doesn't really matter where you go in the show.
It does not, because a lot of people say, well, Jay, you should have closed the show. That ain't.
That's not for you to decide.
That's not for me to decide. What decides that is my contract. I go where I think the money is right for me. If you want me to close, I don't have a problem with that. But you are going to pay me to be in that position. Because there's a lot that comes along with that.
Okay, I see.
Everybody's not a closer. I don't care how much television you got. These streets is war out here. When you step on that stage, that's war. Oh, you leave that television behind. I hope you ain't got it in the car with you. Leave that television behind. Because you know why you leave it behind? Because that's what they saw on TV. Now they're getting ready to see you live. What you gonna do?
It's a big difference performing in front of that tube as opposed to in front of them 10,000.
It's a big difference to perform in front of your family on the porch than it is when you're getting paid for it to do it professionally. Everybody's in the comedy game shouldn't be in the comedy game.
Wow.
Everybody's in the comedy game should not be in the comedy game. Do your due diligence. Serve yourself. Sweat. And I'm not saying any particular person.
Right.
I'm saying what it is. But when a comedian says to me, I ripped it, I just, okay.
Oh, really, huh?
Okay.
Because you've been at this thing 34, 35 years, you've seen the evolution of joke telling.
I have.
There are jokes that you could tell in 1990,
Yeah.
1995, and 2000.
You can't do that.
You better not touch in 2020.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
That's where the word relevance comes in. Can you be relevant? Why do you think people won't let go of Rodney? Why do you think they won't let me allow him to rest in peace?
Right.
Because he's evolution. No matter if it's back then or if it's now. They don't care about what you're talking about. They just care about that it's Rodney.
Right.
When you do, like I said, I don't target people. I don't talk about a person's demise. If you are going to talk about murder, death, I don't talk about that. But if you're going to do it, make sure you're ready for the response you're going to get. Make sure you're ready to do that like it's supposed to be told.
Okay.
Because you can make death funny. But don't go in there just because you done seen it, you automatically think, oh, this is what I'm going to say.
Right.
Because it don't work that way. It don't work that way.
How have Arnez J had to evolve? Because, like you said, there are some jokes that you could tell back then that you wouldn't say it, that you brought the house down or you ripped it. So how have you had to evolve, knowing that joke, even gay jokes, you made fun of gay mannerisms?
I sure do. You know why?
Why?
Because that's around me.
Right.
I grew up with it.
Okay.
I'm allowed to talk about people that are challenged. I grew up around it.
Right.
It's in my family. It gives me the right.
Right. And you
my
have
business.
intimate personal knowledge about it because you, like you said, you grew up around it.
I
You
grew
saw
up
it.
around. I saw it. My uncle, man, let me tell you something. I went back home one time in Florida. One of my cousins. I walked in the living room. I asked my Uncle Fon. I said, Uncle Fon. I said, who's that girl in there? He just walked out and said, boy, that's your cousin. I said, who? That's your cousin. I said, who? What son you think I got that would be your cousin? I looked back and I said, nigga, you lying. He completely transgendered over. Think I wasn't gonna get it?
First chance.
Gonna get it. But I had to be around him to get it.
Right.
See, I gotta be around it.
So you don't make jokes about things that you don't have a intimate or personal knowledge. Because I had Quake and had Bruce, two of my favorites. I saw them, and I got to get to one of your shows. They said their job is to take real life events and make them funny. You being around that situation, you being around Rodney, you being around your cousin, your Uncle Charlie.
Yeah.
You around that, you saw that, you picked up on that. That's years and years
And everybody
and years.
has an Uncle Charlie. Everybody's black anyway.
Yeah.
Even somebody white may have an Uncle Charlie.
Right.
Always. In Africa, they wear their pants high.
Yeah.
On purpose.
So when you made the joke about your cousin, did he know you were joking about him? Has he ever said anything about? Come on, bro. You
No.
let that go.
He ain't saying nothing to me. He's the one I talk about. When he says something, he always points to the left. Every time, never goes to the right. And looks you dead in your face. You could be at the table eating. What'd you say? A lot of Africans love me, and I love them, but they funny.
Right.
African dudes lie all the time. I'm not saying all of them, but they lie. That was talking about what they got. But you at TSA work. What did I say so? One African dude told me one time, his scanner went up. He was like, come forward, come forward. You know, that's cool, but you ain't got to talk to me like that. No. He said, buck up. I said, okay. He said, come forward. I said, man, you ain't got to do all that. Come forward, I'm the supervisor. I said, no. I'm not going to come forward. I remember you. Oh, he got mad. Wait. He got mad.
Do you ever get hate mail for doing a joke? Or talking about I don't know, like you say, I don't know, you say your job, you're not trying to do the mean or.
I got one email that I know of in 35 years, 3 years ago, from a family that lived in Australia.
Damn.
Said, we saw him and he wasn't who we thought he was.
What did they think you were?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Shannon.
But other comedians, because you did and you had the mannerism down to a T, they thought you were gay.
What? They thought I was gay before I was a comedian. Before I was a comedian.
Really?
Here's a funny story. And I hope he see this. You know, I don't do names.
Right.
It's a comedian trying to get with a girl.
Yeah.
That was just a good friend.
Right.
That we knew.
I know he didn't do what I think.
Yes, he did.
He didn't tell her you were.
Yes, he did. And the word he used was, Arnez J? That's a friend of yours? Oh, he That's why you got to watch who you run your mouth to. He said, oh, he like boys.
Really?
So this is why I say God is great. We were doing a show. In Philadelphia. I think we were at Tulane College. He just happened to be on the show. Rod was in the room. He came in to knock on the door. Hey, man, hey.
Like ain't nothing. Like he ain't say.
Like ain't nothing.
Like he ain't say what he said.
I said, thank you, Jesus. I ain't got to go to his room. I said, Rod, I need you to step out for a minute. So I looked at him, and I looked at him just like that. I sat down. He was like, where you are? He said, yeah, what's up? I said, I'll tell you what. We can handle this one of two ways, but it's going to get handled. We can talk about it like grown men, or we can go to the street. And I said, and you know me. You know I'm praying that you want to go to the street with it. So I'm a now. And he just knew. And he went, what? I said, what? Who's what? I like boys? Oh man, you were just trying to what? I said, I've been nothing but nice to you and your son. Ever. But I tell you what though, you needed to say that to a woman about another man so you could think that was gonna get you somewhere, or you just being hateful? I said, that's what little do. Are you a bitch? I said, I think so.
Damn. You don't like that, honey?
I said, I think so.
What'd he say? Crying?
I didn't say that, you did.
He cried out there?
I'm just saying.
He apologized?
Yeah, he apologized.
You ought to do it like Harlem Nights. Now I want everything you took here tonight and everything you took in all week.
Nigga, that's funny. That's funny to me. No, he ain't nothing I wanted though. He ain't have nothing.
So let me ask you,
He's wearing tennis shoes now.
So let me ask you a question. After that point, did he ever say anything else to you? Y'all cool now?
No, we're not. Because, I mean, we're cool.
Right.
But I got the feeling he wasn't sincere. It
Right.
was that in the moment, and the walls were in on him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, what? And I even asked, why would you do something like that? What inspired you to do that? Bro, it's hard enough out here, but we banging on each other now?
About a broad, too.
Yeah, about a woman that you want to get with?
That July had happened, though, Jay.
I in my life ain't never dogged another man to get
Never.
with a woman.
Nope. Nope.
It ain't. Yeah.
Nope.
I'm type of dude. Back in the day, a woman looked at me like outside. I was like, well, I'm side eye too. My mama told me I was cute too. I don't know what the hell you think.
Yeah. No.
Should have did just like my cousin.
No. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that.
There is a code.
Yes, what it used to be.
Fact. Used to be.
It used to be.
Used to be.
Because
And why did it change? When did it change? Why is it changing?
I have no idea. Because even if a guy had a girl and they're not together, and she come ask me, I know you knew. What I know? Oh, I know you knew he had such and such. I don't know nothing.
First of all, bet no female ever walk up on me like that.
Yeah, but they because they want you.
Because
No.
first of all, if that's my friend, that's my friend. Don't walk up on me and ask me something crazy.
They already know. Don't ask me. I had a homeboy say I ain't gonna even ask Shannon because I already know he's gonna lie. I met you through him. My loyalties are to him.
Yeah.
Never. I've never said anything. I say never, and I hate saying never, all, or every.
Got you. I got you.
But you not finna get me to talk bad about somebody else just so I can get in a favorable position with someone else. That ain't how it works.
Boy, I wish you had more time on here. There's some boys, but see, youngs, I could.
They doing that now though. They do that. You mentioned early on you were a flight attendant. How did you become a flight attendant? You needed money that bad, Jay?
First of all, you ain't gonna try to say that being a flight attendant didn't pay.
I said it, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I got paid.
Yes.
I got paid. I was stealing headset money. I got paid.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So you had put them out of business.
I had a whole flight crew, all of us, called Nestle. We had one white girl, we called her Nestle's White Chocolate. We had an all-black crew. All that headset money. Liquor money.
Yeah, that's why they make you pay with credit card now. Ain't no more cash.
People's Express was so stupid, they were having people pay when they got on the plane. Cash. And they had a little credit card machine, but they were paying cash. Getting on the plane. That's why they went out of business. They open on Monday and close on Friday. But we've all done things, man, back in our day. It's just that people, when you get to a point in your life, man, where you can talk about everything.
Right.
You can talk. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I'm trying to have an open, honest, deep conversation. It doesn't have to be deep, but it can be.
As a flight attendant, what's proper etiquette? Okay, in the middle seat, who get the armrest? Cause I ain't off everybody.
That's a good question. If I'm in the middle, I'm getting the armrest. Because you already got me sitting woman. Okay? I'm already sitting
We
woman.
should've booked earlier.
Look, my legs is already in like this, and my feet is out. You think I ain't gonna spread these wings right here? And then look at you funny. What you looking at? What you looking at? And then if there's somebody beside you, make him move. Shut up. No, these arms right here, no. The one in the middle is gonna get that armrest.
Okay.
Because it's not, this ain't cool.
Well, I read the stat. They said I think it's 60% of the people won't recline their chair out of respect for the person that's behind them.
Who said that?
I read a stat that say 60%.
No, you couldn't have read a stat.
Yeah, they say 60%.
No,
But they don't.
that was in Toys R Us when you read that?
No.
Was that in the Dollar Tree store? Because you do be reading.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So, is it
And that's a complete fabrication.
It is?
That's a lie.
Everybody lay it down.
That's a lie. Yeah, I would say 90%.
I mean, I lay down. I mean, I look back and make sure I would just.
Of course, you don't do that, but there's
Right.
a lot of people that do that. This lady today did her thing all the way back like this and went like this again. I hit
Come
the front.
on.
I did. I hit the front of it. I hit the front of it to let her know I'm back here.
So let me ask you, were you in the main cabin or you in first? Because I've talked to flight attendant and they say they like to make.
I was in the as a flight attendant.
Yes.
I was always first class flight attendant.
They say they like being in the main cabin because the people in first sometimes are a little bit demanding and they just keep ringing the call. Can I have this? Can I get that? Can I get this? Can I get that?
First of all, nowadays everybody's lazy. You have to realize when I flew, I flew what was called the A300 Airbus, seats 272. The Garuda seats 262, I think. Mine seated 272.
Okay.
You had a first class of 24.
Right.
24 now, 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
Then you had a pub, like the 747s.
Yeah.
There was a pub right there. I either did the pub or did first class.
Right.
Then you got the coach. And there's 6 bathrooms back there.
Yeah. We call it the main cabin. We don't want to get anybody hurt.
The what?
Main cabin.
Coach. You know what I mean? So
There you go, man. See, it's the main
see,
cabin.
yo, we changing words again. Okay, main cabin.
Yeah, main cabin.
So anyway, I had a passenger one time. I was doing the first class service. Back when I was first class, it was first class. You served Chateaubriand,
Yeah.
Egg Benedict. You did the liqueur tray.
Yeah. It was nice hot
Yeah.
food.
And the Grand Marnier dessert trays with the ice cream.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yes, yes.
I complete service. I won flight attendant of the year like 3 times. I was that good.
How'd that happen?
Plus I can cook.
You weren't cooking on the plane, the food is already made, you put it in the
I
oven.
made it look like it was cooked.
You do realize you just put it in the oven,
I
Jay.
made it look like, no, that's bull crap. You don't just put some stuff, you gotta put it, it's gonna come out dry, make sure the food wasn't dry.
Or you put a little water on it, huh?
Put a little water. If I have to, spice it up a little bit. I was into that. Let me tell you something. First class passenger, their child was running around. I told him, I said, sir, I'm getting ready to do a service. I'm gonna need you to have your children sit down.
Right.
Old Jewish guy. Wasn't old, but I'm saying Jewish guy. He went just like this. Put his finger right here in my nose. Because I bent down like that. He said, you're just a servant.
Oh Lord. How many days did you get suspended?
Let's put it this way. I had to put out some applications. They made an emergency landing.
Huh?
They made an emergency landing.
You fired on him?
I knocked him out. One hitter quitter.
Jay.
One hitter quitter.
Oh Lord have mercy. You was in the wrong job.
One hitter quitter.
You know good well you can't be, you got, the passenger's always right, Jay.
Yeah, he was right. Right up. I knocked him out. They made an emergency landing.
You get arrested?
No. The paramedics came on, but they were going to arrest him. I got pulled off at the flight.
Oh.
I got suspended. I was gone for 30 days.
Yeah, I figured, I know you had, I figured
30 days.
Yeah, I figured that.
Why your voice high?
I figured that.
I was gone for 30 days.
Damn.
Then when I finally got fired, you know why I got fired? Because I was sick, had the flu. You sure you ain't got that thing? You sniffing and stuff a lot, bro.
Man, it's my sinus.
Maybe drink some of this.
I'm good. I got another show tonight.
Is this one open?
You know, that's for you.
Can I buy? No, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of that,
Boy.
my stuff I got you.
Yeah.
I have to show it to you.
Yeah, we gonna do
Okay.
it.
But
So-
wait, but let me finish
I
though.
want you to tell the rest of the story.
The reason I got fired,
Yes.
I got extremely sick.
Uh-huh.
We were going from Newark, New Jersey, from Denver, Colorado to Newark, New Jersey.
Okay.
We held at the gate for 4 hours because it was snowing.
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't release us. We went out on the tarmac. They got ready for the runway, thought we was gonna take off. They brought us back in. I was already sick. I told the captain, I had the flu. I took a whole thing of NyQuil. He said, well, just sit on the jump seat and just relax. I fell asleep on the jump seat. Automatic termination. When they went to him to ask him, he said he didn't know nothing about it.
Wow.
But his girlfriend was the lead flight attendant that I didn't like.
Why am I not surprised?
And they fired me. Then, about 4 or 5 months later, no, 6 months later, I get a letter from them stating that they want to reinstate me. You know what I did? I put my butt and my balls up on a Xerox machine.
This man out of his mind.
Took a picture of it. Yeah. Had to have that snake up top though. But took a picture and then mailed it to him. And just put kiss my.
Jay, you could have went back and got the job. You could have got benefits.
You think I want to go back after that?
You fight the flight attendant fighting on the plane. Normally the flight attendant.
I'm out to poke me in projects out of Miami, Florida.
Yeah, I know.
You can take me out. You can take me out of the project. But you can't take the project out of me.
But you was on the flight that had a bomb threat called in too.
Oh, that one. You know how we do it. Man, they called and said there's a bomb. Okay, first we doing the service. I'm the lead flight attendant.
Yeah.
The captain comes up, makes an announcement. Gonna have all flight attendants to the mid-galley. All flight attendants to the mid-galley, please. We go to the mid-galley. He said, oh, Arnez, I need you to kind of make sure nobody comes up here. I'm like, I'm the lead. But it's an all-white crew.
Okay.
I know why they didn't tell me.
Right.
So he called him into the cockpit.
But not you.
Not me.
And you the lead though.
I'm the lead.
Okay.
I'm supposed to get the information.
Yeah.
I'm sitting out. All of a sudden, one of the flight attendants comes out, has a blank look on her face, just blank. I'm like, what? I'm like, we just don't say Becky. Becky, what's wrong? Arnez the captain just said we just need to just do our service. I was like, you can't do that for the black people. I was like, okay, but what's wrong now? She goes, it's cool and everything. I want to say, bitch. I said, when we do this, that means the headache's starting to come.
Right.
I said, okay, just tell me
What's going on?
Just tell me what's happening. Finally came out and told me. There's a bomb threat. Do we have a bomb in the plane?
Please tell me you don't get on the microphone. This man done. Jay.
Listen.
Jay.
Time out.
That's why they let your ass in.
No, I didn't get on the microphone like that, but I thought it said, I should have took this goddamn flight. I knew it. I knew this bull. I knew it's going to happen. I knew it. So a couple of passengers came up and said, hey, tell me what's going on. And then a couple of them just kept coming up, hey, can you tell me what's going on? I got on the mic then. Listen, we have a situation. We don't know what's going on yet. So I don't need you to come up here and ask me but I was saying it with authority. I don't need you to ask me what's going on.
Well, at least you didn't say bomb. It scared everybody.
No, they might have arrested me if I said that. So when we landed in Denver, we get in Denver, Colorado. They took our plane all the way out to the field by itself, so we could blow up by itself.
Yo.
The fire trucks would even come. The fire trucks would not even come. They were there, but they wouldn't get near us.
Right.
They let down all the slides. I'm supposed to,
You supposed to be last.
no, I'm supposed to be at the front door now.
Yeah.
The front door, that's where the lead goes.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to say, these exits are blocked. We need everybody to come this way. In or out, in or out.
Right.
The captain says, Arnez, I need you to go to the back and make sure that everything. I said, wait.
Whoa.
I'm the lead. Arnez, I need you to go back in case anything happened. You're supposed to be last on our plane. That's what he said.
Yes.
That's why when you said that, it triggered me. I didn't have that manual, but in my brain, I was going, tell me where it said, Arnez J supposed to be last on the plane.
Yeah.
So I go to the back, I followed directions. They had two of the other flight attendants up front. This lady with a walker. This is why I said I don't like stealing. This lady with a walker. This lady with a walker pulled down the walker. I mean, somebody else got the walker.
Right.
First of all, there's one lady trying to reach and get her purse. I said, ma'am, come on. Wait, I'm trying to get my purse. I said, if you don't bring your ass on, that's exactly how I said it. Move. That's not what I said.
Yeah.
It was worse. But we're in a panic moment.
Yeah.
Then there's somebody helped this lady get a walker down. So I'm behind the lady. You know, I'm antsy.
Yeah. Play the bomb won't play.
You need to walk along faster. I'm like, ma'am, come on, ma'am, please walk. Ma'am, you okay? Yeah, don't turn around, just keep walking. Finally, I just kind of nudged her like that, and the walker kind of slipped and she fell over. I did this I didn't do this, but I said, you done lived your life, let me live mine. But I got her off, we got off.
Yeah.
I get called into the supervisor's office.
Damn, you stayed in the supervisor's office.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
I don't think that job was for you.
It wasn't. It was a point in my life. They asked me, did I push an old lady down in the walker? I said, first of all, we all safe. What's the problem? I was helping her and she slipped. Well,
She told on you. She dimed you out.
no, she didn't die. Well, she did, but she didn't.
Okay.
Guess who that lady in the walker was?
Please, I have no idea.
One of the supervisor's mom.
Oh.
God had it out for me.
Yeah.
He said, it's about time you move on.
Yeah.
This
For
dude
you.
came in there, and I was like, you know how white guys talk. It was my mother! But she's alive.
Yes. I helped
I
say.
helped her.
Yes.
Why are you being so evil? It was my fucking mother. Wow.
Jay.
You're gonna stop that.
Jay. So after that was it.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Okay. So now, you were the flight attendant.
No, but they were gone. I was gone because of the NyQuil.
Yeah.
And the captain lying, saying that he didn't know anything about it. That I never told him nothing like that.
Oh Lord. How did you get to the comedy stage?
Because a first-class passenger told me I need to be doing comedy. He told me that flying on this aircraft, flying these planes, was a waste of me. First-class passenger told me that. He said, I've never seen nobody this funny on a plane before. Because I was always cracking jokes, just doing stupid stuff, changing my voice. We go to Texas. We fly into Texas. I go, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for flying on Continental Airline flight number 1485. Tell you what, sit down, kick your boots up, strap yourselves in, because it's gonna be one of them nice rides, not a rough one, but a nice one. Just strap yourself in. We want you to enjoy yourself, and if you see a nice girl beside you, say hello. So I would do that. We go to San Francisco. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for flying Continental flight number 785, going to the beautiful city of San Francisco. So it just depends on where we were
going?
Yeah, it did depend on where we were going. If we went to Japan, I would have killed that one.
Yeah.
I would have killed that one.
But did you know you could do comedy? So you just
No.
go to an open mic?
No, I went to a place in Denver, Colorado called Comedy Works.
Okay.
Still up, running now.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who I see? First time.
Who?
A comedian by the name of Robert Townsend.
Wow.
But he wasn't there to do a show. I was up on the comedy night. I mean, the amateur night, open mic.
Right.
He was there filming a movie called The American Flyer. Had on a pair of white, had on green top, white pants, had his arm in a sling. His arm was broke. He had a broken arm. I guess he had fell on the bike. Learned how to ride. But he was doing a movie. I think it was his first movie. And that's where I met him and seen him. And he didn't remember that, but see, I remember.
Wow.
And that's what gave me more inspiration to do what I do. And I used to go to movies by myself. He did a movie called Hollywood Shuffle.
Truffle.
That movie was going against Ishtar. Anybody remember the movie Ishtar with Dustin Hoffman?
Mm-hmm.
They spent $40 million on Ishtar. Robert Townsend spent $40,000 from credit cards to do Hollywood Shuffle, but the movie made $3 or $4 million. Ishtar lost their ass. So that's what kicked it off of him, but that's the first professional person I had seen doing comedy. And I had listened. I wasn't one of those ones that listened to Richard Pryor all the time.
Right.
I wasn't one of those because I was a physical comedian.
Right.
I love Flip Wilson. I even listened
Geraldine, variety.
to, Mork and Mindy.
Yes.
Robin Williams. No. I used to.
So that's like what they call a physical comedy. Jim Carrey is a physical
I
comedy.
used to love Jim Carrey's physical comedy. Carol Burnett show. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Carol Burnett show.
The funniest episode.
Her and Tim Conway was.
The funniest episode.
Which one?
Tim Conway. Who's the other one? Harvey Korman and Tim Conway. The dentist office. The dentist office. When the dentist was Tim Conway, Harvey Korman was sitting in the chair. He took that needle, Novocaine, and said, "We're just gonna," and it stuck himself. Then he hit himself in the leg, caught himself in the head one time. Harvey Korman was laughing so hard he couldn't even finish it. He was laughing so hard. That was the best scene. So when that was done, that was my inspiration.
Right.
To do what I do. Geraldine was.
Gerald Flip Will, yeah.
I even used to watch Red Skelton. I mean, he was too old back then, but I found tapes. I was watching Red Skelton. And remember I said I didn't watch comedians? I stopped watching comedians kind of like after Martin, because I loved Martin back in the day. Tommy Davidson, loved him.
Yeah.
Healing in Philly.
Yep.
Martin, Tommy Davidson, and I came up with, bless you, I came up with Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
We used to perform in a place called the Comedy Act Theater. They were in it before me,
Right.
but I was one of those Nubians that came in. Once again, I wasn't in that clique.
Right.
And a lot of times in this business, a lot of people in the clique. I mean, I know fans know that, but I don't believe in that.
Wow.
I just don't.
How did Def Comedy Jam?
Wow.
Let's go to Comic View, because you was the host of Comic View.
Yeah.
For 2 years.
Yeah.
Cheryl Underwood was the host. Bruce was a host. DL was a host.
And they all did great jobs.
And who else? Said the Entertainer was a host.
Yeah.
Did you get any advice, or did you just like, hey, they did their thing, I'm gonna do my thing?
No, I didn't get no advice.
You didn't want no advice. You didn't ask for any advice. You didn't seek out any advice.
I don't think a lot of people didn't know how to advise me,
Okay.
because my comedy is so different. They don't know how to. I'm that storyteller, but
Right.
I act it out.
Right.
So how can you advise something like that?
Right.
Even a lot of times when we were doing the show,
Right.
nothing was pre-scripted. I had a thought in my head,
Yeah.
and I said, "This is what we're gonna do."
Wow.
Like when I brought my roller skates out there, they didn't know I was gonna do that. I said, "Go buy me a pair of roller skates. I need a pair of roller skates. Size 9. Need a pair of roller skates." They saw me. I loosened the trucks on them.
Yeah.
Took the shoestring, took the toe stops off. Why are you taking the toe stops off? How you gonna stop? Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'm not. Don't worry about it though.
Yeah. That's why I give people like Usher.
Yeah.
Give him big props. He can't outscare me, but I give him props.
Oh, Lord mercy.
They in the place, son.
You on the episode with Bernie Mac when he said, I ain't scared of you more.
I was. That was his day to be born. You understand what I'm saying? That was Bernie's day to be born. That one right there,
Yeah.
that's not the one you played with
Bernie
on that stage.
Right. Bernie was like that.
Bernie was one of the few that made me do this. Okay. All right.
It was game time. You really had to get.
Yeah. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Yep. Bernie was one of those ones, you go behind him, you come and say, oh, you straight become gay. Be like, that wasn't even right what he did. That was bad. Oh my God. Did you see it? Yeah. He was, it's okay, I'll be all right. Yeah, Bernie was.
But on Def Comedy Jam, you was on with Steve. You had Jamie Foxx, Martin Lawrence. You had some heavyweights in your.
But I wasn't the heavyweighter. I just did who I was.
Well, right.
I just did who I was.
Do you think back and realize Def Comedy Jam, Comic View? Did you realize what you were a part of while you were a part of it? Do you look back now like, damn?
No.
Really?
I don't.
Why?
Maybe because who I am is, I look at things that was a stepping stone, and I don't feel like a lot of times, that's a good question. I don't feel like a lot of times I added to the greatness of what these shows were. I was just performing.
How are you able to be so honest with yourself? Because a lot of people are like, yeah, man, I was there and that was a great time, blah, blah, blah. But you're able to have an honest conversation with yourself. It's like, yes, I was there, but I'm not so sure that I added anything to it.
You want to know the real truth without it sounding almost cliche?
Yeah.
I'm very much scared of God. And I always think, Lord, how long are you going to let me have this? Are you going to snatch this from me? But you sustained me. You've made me, I think, the way it seems, get better.
Right.
I always appreciate who God is, because I know he can snatch it from me. And you know as well as I know how real he is.
Yes.
Now, whether you succumb to him and tell him the truth, because you can lie to me all day, I can lie to you all day. You can't lie to him.
He's all knowing.
All knowing. So, and I think we have gotten away from God. We've gotten away from knowing the power of who he is and put everything into these computers and social media. That's our God now. That's not my God. My God is the same God when I was a kid. He's the same God. When I jumped off my mama's roof in a pair of girl animal underwear, thinking I was Superman with a red cape on, which was a towel. Jumped off her roof, tried to grab a tree branch and missed. And when I hit, like them cartoons, how that dust come up?
Yeah.
My mama still beat my ass. She made sure I was all right, then she beat my ass. That's the God I serve.
Wow.
But I don't even care for church like I used to. Because the devil has stepped his foot in there.
Oh.
He stepped his foot in there and made people forget who God is. And I'm talking about the pastors.
Wow.
They forgot what their job is. They forgot that they're shepherds. We are the sheep. Lead us.
Right.
Now I understand when God says, don't put your trust in man. Don't believe in what man does. That's why I don't go to church now. And I'm mad at myself because I don't go. Will I step in one? Yeah, I probably will, but example. When I say I'm not the best person in the world, I'm not saying that. But I believe in what I believe. I used to go to church in Atlanta, Georgia. Dr. Charles Stanley, you familiar with that?
I am.
Used to go to his church. He was a teacher. You had to take your Bible into his church. I had to guide away from the traditional going to the black church, hearing the music. But in my soul, that's what did it for me. But I kind of lost that urge for that.
Right.
I kind of lost that. Now he's going to the church. My Lord will be there forever.
You didn't want to be in church for 5 hours anymore.
Oh my God, yeah. But what turned me off was the last day that I walked into that church and went to church, when a black woman in Charles Stanley's church stood up. He was preaching. God manifested in her. She started to shout and dance for Jesus. This man said, hey, wait, hey, you gotta have to calm down. You're kind of messing up my rhythm.
Really?
Hand to God. When he said that, I said, let's go. I'm out of here. No, I didn't say let's go. I said, this is the last time I'll be coming to this church. Wow. King David danced for Jesus. That's a king. God wants you to dance for him. So what? And you had the nerve to say that this woman, and a black woman, that danced for Jesus and shouted his name, that was disturbing what you were doing, like you couldn't go back to it. Or you didn't know how to handle that.
Right.
That was the last time I went to church.
Wow.
It affected me like that.
Let me ask you something, since you being honest. When Netflix had the 25th anniversary of Def Comedy Jam, there were a lot of people that got invited back that you weren't.
No.
How did that make you feel?
I could have felt sorry for myself. But I looked at it as if Jesus said, you better not. Of all the things you got, you better not. And then there was people that got invited that had never been on Def Jam. I could have got upset.
You could have.
For what? What good would it have done?
It wasn't going to change anything. It wasn't going to invite you because you got upset.
But yet they ran some of
Your clips.
my clips. So if you're gonna run my clips, I'm just asking, what is the harm in asking me to come? Did somebody give you a word? Don't bring him. You see what I'm now? You see where I'm going now?
You think that happened?
I'm saying that it could have. I'm saying that I would dang sure believe it if it did. There's still people that carry a lot of salt in them.
Really? You know, we done got too old for that though, Jay.
You think we got too old for it, but we haven't gotten too old for it. There's people that carry salt in their pockets.
Damn.
In this industry. There's so many funny people out here. And there's so many people standing in their own way of victory.
So there's the term that Katt used, he called gatekeepers. Is there such a thing?
Yes. Damn it. Yes.
They be blocking.
There was a famous manager that ended up wanted to have a meeting with me. Got me in his office. Said, man, you have what I'm looking for. You are that it. Because when I got it, I'm gonna say this, then go to that, because it goes together. I was only in comedy 4 months, and there was over 500 and some odd comedians that auditioned to do the Showtime All-Stars. I came in second in the Bay Area competition. Got a new management team.
Right.
Some
That was
odd
the
reason,
92.
they said, do you got to go back home to Atlanta? I said, not right now. They said, we got something for you. They got it to where Showtime allowed me to be the last one up. Showtime All-Stars, they had one slot left. When I was done, they came over and shook my hand and said, welcome to the Showtime All-Stars. Don Rickles was the host. But I bet you look on there, you won't see me.
You know who won that year?
What, the year that I lost?
Yeah.
Ricky Harris. I mean,
I thought Chris Tucker won you.
no, Ricky Harris.
I remember.
He was a hometown boy. I mean, he was, yeah.
Oh Lord, there you go.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that.
So Don Rickles, and so you think you're gonna be a part of the Bay Area All Stars and
No, the Showtime.
Showtime All Stars? Excuse me.
This is a big affair.
Yeah.
It had John Panetti was on there. That's the one that did Alvin and Chipmunks and stuff. John Panetti. and other comedians that were on there. I was the baby. I was the new one. I did myself. We did it at Caesar's Palace. My wife and I were there. She was the only black person in that whole audience. Don Rickers looked at her and said, oh, a black woman. Yeah, clean my room. Something like that. But she laughed and gestured. I did my set when it was over because they thought I was that next Eddie Murphy.
Right.
They thought I was going to be that next Eddie Murphy because I had gotten it. So I only been in comedy, like I said, it wasn't long. Yeah. They gave me that. These comedians that have been in this business 17, 15 years, 12 years, and didn't get that role, that spot that I did. When I was done, I wasn't, I don't know, I wouldn't say white enough, but the audience was 60 and up. I was still a young buck.
Right.
Trying to go, and then I wasn't the worst.
Right.
I didn't do bad. I wasn't satisfied. But then they told me that I was going to be edited out. That's why I said you won't see me. Okay, fine, you edit out. You still gave me that $7,000 payday though.
Did you know who wanted you edited out? Do you ever find out who wanted you edited out?
There's a brother that worked for them at Showtime All Stars. Maybe they collaborated, I don't know, but he did the Clarence Thomas thing. But anyway, so when the show came on and they came to the end of it, so I got a full book. I got so much of me that, dude, we could be here for 3 days. When the show came on, they went to the end of the show, brought all the comedians back out.
Right.
Of course, in the editing part, guess who they didn't bring out?
You.
In the editing. But guess what you seen?
They brought you out.
Nope. You ain't gonna believe me when I tell you.
What happened?
You can see every comedian, and then at the end, you saw a pair of shoes, my Reebok shoes, and my white short socks with no body to it. You saw the shoes and the socks.
You had no black Reeboks, them 3/4, them aerobic ones?
No, I had that new one that came with the black bottom and the white top.
Yeah.
That's the one I had. The one I was wearing on Def Jam. And all you saw was those and a pair of socks, the ankles, but not the rest of the body. Like the Invisible Man, all the rest of the body was gone. But you saw my shoes right there next to the next person.
Was that your first time you realized that this was a dirty business?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did it change the way you looked at comedy? Did it change the way you did business in comedy? Did it change you?
What it did was make me say, nobody ever do that to me again. I had some projects that I turned down, had some projects that I didn't get. But one thing I wasn't gonna do, nobody was gonna do that to me again. Like I tell you, there's people in the business that want you to not succeed. That's my motivation to keep pushing. And I only mean to get stronger and stronger to where I can't see myself. If God wills, if I go to heaven, all them angels gonna fall out. This is what I do. I mean, I don't really wanna be an actor anymore like I thought I did. A lot of people act, then they become, I don't know. This is what I love. It's hard to get away from this, then come back to it, act like you play ball. You can't all of a sudden just go back thinking you're gonna run things.
Right. It's different.
Whole differently. That's why you can't stop doing it.
Right.
You gotta keep.
I heard Jay Leno say that. Jay Leno said that even though he was doing other things, he was still touring. I hear Seinfeld said that.
And Jay Leno is correct because Jay Leno would do, I think it's Thursday night, would go to the Comedy Club in Ramosa Beach or whatever it's called.
Ramosa.
And do comedy there. They work his stuff out.
Wow.
You constantly got to keep your motor running. Don't sit it on idle. Every now and then you gotta hit that gas. You gotta do it. You just sit there.
You were on the Monique show. What is it? I heard what you said, Monique.
Oh,
What
you
do
talking
people-
about when she talk?
Yeah, she in Savannah.
She in Savannah right now?
She would know she's not now, but she was. But
You know
still
she
my
got in
girl.
your ass. Right?
Yeah, she did. She's still my girl.
Well, she should have.
She's still my girl.
You my boy, but
What is it that people get wrong about Mo?
what is that people get wrong about Mo?
Yeah.
I don't know what they get wrong because I really don't know what they get right.
Right. Okay.
Because we all have our own individual thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I would never make a queen feel unqueen-like, especially when they haven't done anything to me.
Right.
I may see something I don't like, and if you ask me about it, I'm gonna tell you about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't sleep with this woman. We don't know what transpires on the phone call she was on, and we damn sure wasn't there when she was in the office making these deals. Maybe she has a reason. Maybe she's going too far. Who knows? I don't know.
Right.
That's not my job. You know why?
Right.
Because what good is it to be my job? What am I gonna do? What's it gonna do for me?
Right.
Am I her psychiatrist?
Nope. Not a manager, not an agent,
Nothing.
not a lawyer.
I'm somebody that she knows very well. That's it.
Is it true Katt gave you money for your brother?
Katt did something for my brother that nobody, where I will always hold the highest respect for him. And I didn't even know he did it. Wow. I found out.
I keep hearing these stories. Miss Pat told a story about how her father had passed and she was on, Katt signed, he had her on a tour. He said, look, go home. Gave her the money, go home, bury your dad. When you better come back. Gary Owen tells a story. I'm hearing you tell a story. There's so many people that have told stories about Katt. What is it that other people are, what are people missing? Because I've heard more great stories about his generosity and how he sincerely and genuinely wants the best, but then I hear other people try to bash him.
Now, who are the people that are bashing him?
I don't want to get into these.
No. Meaning, who are the people that are bashing him, why they are bashing him?
Oh, so what's the reason behind it?
Yeah.
I don't know, because see, you on that circuit, even though you might, like I said, like when it comes to football, when I play, you hear.
Yeah.
Like what's going on, okay, this going on with that team and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
So you hear certain things. Now I'm in the media, you hear certain things.
Yeah.
So you would be probably better person to ask. Like I said, I've gotten to know him over the last year and a half, probably a lot differently than a lot of people have. I find him very engaging, read. He's thoughtful. I don't think he says anything just off the cuff. I don't. I think he's, like when he came on the show, Jay, everybody he had talked, he watches every episode. I call him now, you had such and such. Mm-hmm. But he had watched every person that had been on there and he spoke about, he knew everything they said verbatim. And when I invited him on, I know who Katt is, he just wanted to talk.
I will, just because of what he did for my brother, there's nothing you could ever tell me wrong about this man.
Wow.
Just because of what he did. And I didn't know about it. Yes, that was a quiet Superman moment. So, whatever he has done, if it's true, and he talked about the truth, and then that truth holds merit to be evil, what are you mad at? Unless you want to be evil too. lets you appreciate evilness. It ain't about the code of, well,
we comedians, we don't air our laundry and things like, because I got a lot of that. Man, if you got a problem with, you got a problem with Jay, go talk to Jay. If you got a problem with Rodney, go talk to Rodney. If you got a problem with Jordan, go talk to Jordan. Man,
I'm that way.
Why do you have to air out the dirty laundry?
I'm that same way. I feel that you don't have to air it out.
Right.
But if you do air it out,
just tell the truth.
Ain't got my name in it.
Right.
Because I ain't out there doing it. It ain't got my name in it.
Right.
Now, if it got somebody that I know and I like, I'm still going to know and like that person until I find out something different.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Just because you say what you say don't mean I'm going to stop liking this person. I'm going to decide whether I like this person for me.
Based on my interaction with said individual.
And some of my research.
Right.
Like when you was on with Skip Bayless.
Yes.
I don't know that man, but I know good and well how he is. I could smell his undergarment. He's not true. And you can sit up here and say, no, I don't want to talk about it. I got you.
Right.
But I know.
Okay.
I smell people. And there's somebody who you do like, who I don't really care for.
Oh, Lord.
But that ain't for you to, and that's only because of an experience.
Right.
And they might not even remember it. But see, the problem is, I do.
Yeah.
And sometimes you let your skirt show. But I want nothing but great for you.
Right.
Skip, I want nothing but great for him. But Skip he got some nastiness in him. He do.
I take your word for it.
No, you ain't got to tell me where you know.
You did a charity show for Sinbad. You, DL, Lavelle, Earthquake, Bruce.
Man, I forgot about that damn quick. That show, I did. We did a charity show.
You did. Raise money for his medical.
For one of the funniest brothers that I know. See, what a lot of people don't know. I don't even know if I should say this, but
You should.
besides just doing the charity show, I wrote a large check to his family and said, this is yours. Gave it to his brother Mark. Despite what you say about me, I know what I do and what I want to do, when I want to do it. I wrote a $40,000 check. There you go. If I got to think about is that what I should have done, then I don't need to write it.
Correct.
I did it because this brother needed it. This is a good brother who needed it. Who this could help, I thought. I'm so glad we did that show for him. Everybody on that show was funny.
Yeah.
They did their thing. People do what they want to do when they want to do it, Shannon.
Yes.
They do what they want to do when they want to do it.
They do what's important to them.
Or what they feel is important to them. Might not be important, but it might, it's what they feel.
Acting, you just say you don't have the taste or the lust to act now, but you did. I mean, I think you played Eazy-E in a video.
Wow, where'd you get that?
You played it. Ezel tried to play Suge.
You got some rats in your pocket? What the hell? God. Yeah, that was me. That was not AJ Johnson.
AJ was going to try to play Suge, right?
No.
Who's going to play Suge?
Well, no. AJ Johnson was playing
AJ. Ezel from Friday. I don't know.
No. Okay, AJ is Ezel, but we're talking about Eazy-E video.
Yes, you was Easy.
Right, but everybody thought that was AJ Johnson.
Okay.
AJ is the one that called me and said he got this for me.
Okay.
Would I do it?
Right.
I said, yeah. Because Suge told him he couldn't
do it. Oh, so he couldn't play that role, so he turned it over to you. Okay.
Knowing the next person. And since we're talking about, like I said, the track, when we were filming, they were chasing me.
Yeah.
They told me to slow down. They told me to slow down. They can't keep up. I was trotting. What you got to say about that one?
Man, you swear.
I was trotting.
You swear you was Usain Bolt.
I don't know about a boat, but I know it was a screw.
You went on tour with Prince. What was that like?
That was one of the most wide open moments I had ever had in my life.
Really?
First of all, I didn't believe it was him.
What?
Who am I? I'm a comedian.
Right.
You are a juggernaut. You are a juggernaut.
Yeah.
You're an iconic performer.
Him.
He that him. That's what we call groupers. He that him.
Yeah.
This man flew me out to open up for him. When I went to rehearsal, I was the only one in the rehearsal. I met Larry Graham.
One of the million Larry Graham?
Yeah. Larry Graham was on tour with him. Larry Graham was his mentor.
You wonder how I knew that, huh?
Yeah.
One in a million.
Hey, you weren't there when he made that song. Don't do that.
That had to be there with 79. What year was that he made that song? Let's go with 79, just call.
Oh, I know the song.
So what year did you go out on tour with Prince? Was it the late 80s, early 90s?
No. That was 90. That was after I played with the Globetrotters. So that was. Oh, that was was that before? Dang.
Don't do that, Jay.
Don't do what?
Don't do that.
Don't do what? I didn't play with the Globetrotters.
You sure?
Do you have it in your little notepad?
Let me see. Yeah, I do.
Okay. So, am I a magician that I just throw it in there?
You play with the Globetrotters right here.
I sure did.
Okay, so who your game? Your game like Jordan, Ant-Man, Shea, Steph, LeBron, Kobe?
No. My game is like Tamika. No, I had a little bit of handles.
Yeah.
I got speed, and I can play defense. I can shoot. I can pop that three all day long.
Nah, he's Steph Curry.
Not quite.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
But yeah, I played with Sweet Lou Dunbar right before he retired.
Wow. Okay.
So that was 96, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right before he retired. And boy, I remember one time, that boy, when he was in the locker room, you know how you open your locker and see the other locker? I think I opened that locker, he was butt naked. Just looked like a silverback. Just all back and cracked. I was like, oh. And they were laughing, they behind them. They ain't gonna put his foot out there. Hey, man, hey, bro. Oh, bro. But he was the most fun-loving dude.
Right.
A-Train. I played with Orlando Antigua. Orlando Antigua was the first Puerto Rican player that they hired that played out of Pitt.
Okay.
Orlando Antigua. Nice dude.
You say you don't bother audience. Do you if they try to start heckling?
I don't really get that.
You don't get that?
Not really. Very, very.
What if somebody ran up on stage on you?
Huh? We interrupt this programming. News bulletin. Huh?
If somebody ran on stage on you, what you gonna do?
Assess the situation.
You would have somebody run up on stage on you?
I did things, okay? I'm not proud of everything I did.
I'm asking you a question. So you had somebody run up on stage on you. What you do, tripping? You fired on him?
No, I'm just saying.
You hit it with that big old medallion?
No. You know what my friends call these right here? My hands? Monkey grippers. They call them monkey. That's what my friends call my hands, monkey grippers.
I mean, they look like you had a rough life.
Yeah. See how his knuckle is? I stayed fighting. But to look at me, you would never think that.
No.
And I stayed fighting. You have to realize, growing up a poking bean, you gotta come with it. You got to come with it. You really do. And I'm not a troublemaker. I don't start fights, but I just click into a different person.
Right.
You know. I'm just putting it this way. If I'm performing, just please don't run up on stage. No. Please. I'm asking you, please don't.
Okay. But there is somebody. Hold on. Did somebody get shot at one of your shows? And you say,
What?
Is there, let me ask you, is there anything that you can't do? Is there anything that you haven't done? I mean, you probably could fly the space shuttle.
I probably could. You teach me.
I'll give you the manual in the week. Man, Arnez in space.
Let's put it this way. I'm not afraid to try nothing. I'm not afraid to try anything except for dope. Drugs, drinking, I just won't try it.
Is it because did you have a bad experience in your family? Did it do something to close friends or family?
All my uncles were alcoholics. All of them. My dad was, my dad shot me 3 times.
Huh. How your dad shoot you? Was it an accident?
It's called pow, pow, pow. That was 3
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying.
He had a flashback.
He's in Vietnam?
Yes, he was, 2 terms.
And he thought you would?
Charlie. But it was my fault because we was watching The Dirty Dozen.
You know he's in Vietnam and you watching The Dirty Dozen?
I didn't realize that was going to happen.
That was going to trigger him.
It triggered. He said, I got something for you, Charlie. Ran to the back and I'm like, Charlie, my name's Arnez. Who you calling? Came out at 38.
You took off?
You know those old garages?
Yeah.
Those garages that you would build into, like the car part, you would build into the room, the family room?
Yeah.
I ran right through the glass. And I hear, pow, pow, pow.
Did you know he had shot you?
No, I was running.
You had so much adrenaline.
Yeah. Went to a friend's house, they opened the door, and they said, what's wrong? Turned me around, 3. See those marks back there?
Yeah.
3. Went in. That's why I know he's so real.
Went in straight out. Didn't hit no vital organs or nothing.
No. Well, it said it like kind of hit the hip a little bit, and that's probably why I got pain in it now.
Now, from all those splits you done, imitating Uncle Charlie.
It could have been that when I played ball, when I played baseball.
Oh, my God.
You know that's my sport.
I know.
That's another reason why I didn't click. That's another reason why I probably lost some of the opportunities that I had. You know why?
Why?
Because I had a son that I saw when he was in the crib that he had a special gift. It was taped and I didn't even know it. I was shown he was in the crib and I playing with it with a baseball and he reached like that, and then he reached like that. I said, oh shit. That's when I knew. I would leave a show. Rod, I tell you, I would leave a show. Wouldn't even fly back home to Atlanta. I go to his school, or when he was younger, I pick him up. I fly home, tired, dead tired. Baseball equipment ready, let's go. Be at the field almost 3 hours. I would pitch him. Never let him hit off a tee, never. So in T-ball, he didn't hit off of a tee. I would pitch him 300 to 400 balls a day, a session. I turned him around at 9, switch hitting. And all the hard work I did for him, I would fly. Sometimes I had to go pick up my truck, drive to Florida. I'm taking time from my home life to go out and teach him and work with him.
Right.
Go to his games.
Right.
Then he finally did the dream that I had for him. He got picked up. He was playing ball.
Right.
But why he's not playing now is his fault.
What'd he do?
You can't get caught smoking weed twice in the same week. Not. You got to make that 45-man roster. If you don't, you're tagged. But I did what I thought,
What you needed to do.
what I needed to do for him. So, yeah, so I played baseball. That's my sport.
Right. So what's the relationship now with your son?
Oh, well, I love him to death. Love him to death. He still can work things out. I mean, he still got to bump his head a couple of times, but
Right.
he's doing his
We gonna
thing.
get. You figure he'll figure it out.
Got to. If you don't, you're gonna live in the bottom. If you do figure it out, you're gonna be up there on that top where you need to be, on that top tier.
Let me ask you a question. Would you do a versus? Like, you know how they used to have verses, like when we was COVID, and you had like Nelly versus who did Nelly go against? Nelly went against who did Nelly go against? Or the Isley brothers went against Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Yeah.
or so forth and so on. Would you do a versus a comedian?
Sure would. Sure would.
Now
How
they
much
took 20 songs, so we have to give you. Can we do 15 minutes? Each person get 15.
Yeah, easily. I think that'd be funny.
Swizz, Timbo, don't steal my idea. Cut your boy in if you do it.
Oh yeah, that's a nice idea. Don't challenge me with a good time.
Man, you said your father shot you 3 times in the back.
Mm-hmm.
He had a flashback because he did 2 tours in Vietnam, and he had an episode. Is enough being talked about? Soldiers coming back from doing tours?
No.
I mean, it seems to me, and I could be wrong. Help me out. We do a lot of talking about our servicemen and how proud we are of the men and women,
We ain't proud enough.
both domestically and abroad. But when they come back, they struggle getting housing. They struggle getting jobs.
Isn't that what happened to the black man when he came back?
It is.
He was less than dirt when he came back.
Oh yeah, he was never.
But he stopped it so nobody would come over here and kill us.
Yes. Oh, he was fighting for freedoms in a foreign land that when he came home, he didn't enjoy himself.
Yeah, there you go.
And when he was over there, the POWs, the prisoners of war, they went to the front of the bus, then they had to go to the back.
Oh yeah.
And they served them first. They ate first.
Yeah. Evilness don't forget. Evilness don't. It's a darn shame when you feel something belongs to you and you didn't make it. When you feel something belongs to you and you take it. You know what I get upset about, Shannon?
What's that?
Especially with the news channels and stuff. Everybody talks the same. It's the same lingo. People, we listen to them how they talk about certain things and people. And I'm saying this to all the newscasts. Even if you get fired, why won't one of y'all just one time say, "Motherfucker, why you lying?
Say that.
You lie too damn much. Everything come out your mouth is a lie." But what gets me is the people that want it to be true. Black women, you did your thing. Black men, you 22%. Latinos, how does it feel to be me? I'm just saying, we got to do better at what we're doing. People are afraid to open their mouth.
True.
Why are so many people afraid? Are you afraid to lose what you have? You afraid to lose that you go to jail? Didn't God take on the world for us?
Yeah, it did.
Didn't he know he was going to die?
You did.
And he did it anyway.
Yes.
Didn't his followers know that they were going to die, but they did it anyway? We're getting weaker as a people. We're getting weaker.
Do you think we're getting weaker as some of us get more? Because it seemed like the less they had, the stronger they got. Because there weren't that many that have like what we have now. in the 60s, in the 50s, in the
Should
70s.
be no way in the world people of wealth should be able to run a country the way that they do when the mass majority of the people in the country aren't as wealthy as them, but they should still be able to keep them in line. Money is an evil factor.
Yes.
Money can turn a good person evil.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But if you're gonna get in a fight with me, get in a fight with me. Don't get in a fight with me when something happens to you. Now you want me to get in a fight with you.
Right.
It don't work that way.
The old saying is that I don't want you to be an ally. I need an accomplice.
Yes. Hell yeah.
There's a difference between the two. They both start with an A.
Yeah.
But an ally and an accomplice
Yeah.
are something entirely different.
And it reminds me of my so-called, that's why I say everybody ain't your friend. I remember one time me and my friend was stealing. And let me tell you something, we was stealing CDs and stuff, DVDs. We got caught. Once again, me running track, you know I ain't gonna be caught first.
Yeah.
I'm getting it. Yeah. I'm in the cover, I'm hidden.
Yeah.
This dude get caught. He handcuffed. I see him. They getting ready to put him in the police car. I'm hidden. He looked and all of a sudden made eye contact. Arnez. Arnez, come on, man, we caught.
We? No, you
Come on out. When I came out, that police looked at me, he said, what type of friends do you have? We didn't even see you. Wow. No lie. No lie. That's a true story.
I wouldn't have came out, Jay.
I was in the open, meaning if they would have if they would have came behind where I was, they would have pulled back the bushes and
Yeah,
said,
he saw you.
Arnez, come on out. We called, man. They got us.
Now they got you. I'm gonna tell your parents they got you. But
His parents came and got him. My mama let them take me to juvie. That's why I say I graduated from Juvenile Correctional Institute.
you had a very
Yes.
relationship with your mom, didn't you?
A confused relationship. Yes. Yes.
Did you ever feel like your mom loved you? Because black love is different. You got clothes, you got food on the table, you got a roof over your head.
The way his mom loves him, the way your grandmother loved you, nah, that wasn't the kind of love I received. Because once again, she told me, I'm not worried about you. They need me. You gonna make it.
Part of you that should have felt good, like, damn, she got confidence in me that I'm doing the right things.
Confidence or how I was, she just automatically knew it. But that don't mean as a child.
That don't mean you don't want love, you don't want affection.
I do want love.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want love.
Yes.
And that's probably why I love my fans so much. When my fans want to take a picture, you think I'm gonna tell them no?
Right.
I'll never say no. I'll never say no. And if I didn't take a picture, totally by accident.
Right.
It wasn't something that I was trying not to do.
Not consciously, you thinking.
Yeah, because I'm humble. I thank y'all. Without y'all, I can't do what I do.
Right.
That's why I give what I give. And I can only give what I can give.
But you was raised a little bit by your grandmother too, right?
I was. My mama and daddy both left me with my grandmother in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, so they could go to Fort McClellan, Alabama, then fly to Germany. So when I finally got a chance to go to Germany, because they went before me.
Mm-hmm. You flew by yourself?
No, they came back.
Okay.
But it was a while.
Right.
School year was gone. They came back and got me.
Did you want to go?
I did.
Okay.
I didn't want to be left.
Right. How did that make you feel that did they take your siblings? Did they take the others and left you?
I was the only one that left.
Oh my goodness.
And then when they came back to the United States, all of them left, but me and my dad, because he was finishing up his final, leaving out of Hanau, Germany.
Mm-hmm.
I was sick as a dog. As a dog. My dad finished doing what he was had to do, gave me some aspirins and a Coca-Cola, and left me in that apartment by myself.
How old were you?
10, 11. But I was sick as a dog. I was throwing up, and I was in the apartment had like a little basement area.
Mm-hmm.
I was down there by myself.
Do you feel your dad loved you? Or the man that raised you?
I felt that way when I became a grown man. I bought him a truck, and we became just better friends. You see why? Do you see why I'm so guarded and private?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it now?
I do.
You see why I don't really do interviews?
Mm-hmm. I do.
And then I finally get here. So you do have a gift. You have a gift to talk to us.
You know what I think it is, Jay?
What is that?
Because when you come here, you and I, we know each other.
Yeah.
So you see me in a different light, I see you in a different light.
Yeah.
But a lot of times when people come here, I haven't seen them interview. Within a couple of minutes, they realize this man is not here to judge me. Mm-hmm. I have no preconceived notion. A lot of time I'll ask my guests, is there anything that you don't want to talk about? Sometimes they say yeah, sometimes they say I'm an open book. I believe I'm talking to people that's been in their business or their chosen profession 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. Mm-hmm. I believe you can still tell your story without your most embarrassing, your most salacious detail. And when people sit across from me, I think they can read very early on, I'm sincerely and I'm genuinely interested in the story that they're telling.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
When you gonna tell your story? When you gonna let me interview you? If you're not, just say you're not gonna do it.
No, eventually. Eventually I will tell the story. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out. You went to prison?
Shannon, you knew that.
I didn't.
Okay, I didn't go to prison.
You did, Jay.
Because I never got convicted.
You're right.
But I stayed, that's what ruined it for me playing baseball.
All right.
I was deemed uncoachable. Nobody wanted to give me that shot anymore.
What'd you do? You got in a fight.
Putting a police officer in a coma.
Oh, yeah, that'll do
You
it.
asked.
That'll do it. That'll do it, Jay.
But he did that.
Right over your eye.
Yeah, he hit me with a billing club.
How old were you?
16, 17. I was in a jail.
How long did you stay?
This thing went on for almost a year. You know the reason I got out?
Oh, why?
A police officer that was retiring said what I did was self-defense. And he was basically saying I could not knowingly retire knowing that I could put watch an innocent man go to jail. Wow. I became martial arts when I was 7. I was trained by one of the fearless martial art people in the industry named Russell Perone. Mm. My dad was a little bit in special forces. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say, I'd rather talk to you than to fight you. Mm. Because once
we take it there,
it's hard for me to get away from it. because now I'm feeling like you want to hurt me.
So what led to the interaction?
Because we were at the skating ring, and he said, I guess the guy had said, you know, you go to the skating ring, you're skating forward, backward skating. I didn't hear it.
Right.
I'm still jamming. I'm still going forward, getting it. Ying. This cop came out on the floor. Bulked up like that and hit me. I flew over the thing, came out of one of my skates, whipped out his belly club. I don't know why. He was gonna put me out, told me to leave. Whoa, all this?
For skating?
Then said something like, y'all always making trouble. Okay, now I know where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And I stood up and he hit me. Pow! Ooh, now you got to get it.
That was it.
Started a riot at the skating ring. A complete riot. They had over 22 police cars out there. One little girl, I think she was 11, got put in a coma pretty bad. She got hit.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I said, I have a book.
Did the cop that you had the interaction with, did he ever communicate? Did he ever apologize?
No. Never seen him again. They would tease me saying, you better hope he don't die. Better hope he don't die. They were coming into my cell doing that.
Right.
Not into the cell, but you know.
You coming down to UTS?
Yeah. I finally got released, but by then, that's why I had to that's why I didn't graduate. I had to go back and get a GED. I was done with school, I was done with baseball. I struggled.
Then or now?
Huh?
Then or now?
No, I'm not struggling now.
Okay.
I struggled then because you couldn't have told me I wasn't gonna play baseball. You couldn't have told me I wasn't gonna play. No team even wanted to look at me.
Mm.
And you know, once they put that tag on you,
It's
uncoachable.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you make peace with that?
When I finally came to Georgia to step up on the comedy stage, not out of Denver, but out of Georgia, at the Comedy Act Theater, that's when I knew.
This was your calling.
Yeah, that's when I knew. I was like, wow, so this is it? And I worked for a company called AAA. I came to Georgia, I wasn't making no money. No money. I'm making like $235 a week. And then part of that, you had to pay insurance out of.
Yeah.
Once again, I've started
At the bottom.
I'm already raising family.
Right.
That woman told me to get off my ass, put a foot in my ass, get up. This ain't who you are. Strengthen me in my back. Yeah,
This your
strengthen
wife?
me. Yeah, strengthen me in my back. Even if we weren't going to be together or were going to be together, strengthen me in my back.
That's when you knew, huh? She the one.
I got to get up. I got to do something. I made the decision, and this is why I say people don't understand how God moves.
Okay.
But you ain't supposed to understand what he does, but you need to understand how he moving. He moving to better you.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to be patient and do what is of you to get where he's putting you.
Mm.
They were closing the doors at AAA in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody there where I worked, I loved. Girl who I call Cookie, loved her to death. She always stayed. I was the only dude in there. More or less, I was like that dude, that
Right.
different. The manager we didn't like each other at all. It was that alpha thing going on. You know, we even told each other, well, I don't like you. I don't like you.
You either. Yeah, well, good. I'm glad glad we're here.
What up, fat boy? Cookie always stood up for me. When they were closing the doors at AAA, they were closing. They said everybody was getting let go, or you can go to work in Tennessee. That's where they were going to open up their new branch. Well, I wasn't going to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Right then, I said, I can't work again. This is what I got to do now.
Right.
Comedy. I went straight comedy.
You're like, I got to work for myself.
I didn't do anything else. I said, this is the time. But that's where God put me.
Let me ask you this. Had they not closed those doors and relocated to Tennessee, are you a comedian?
No. I don't believe that I am.
So you was forced. It's like they kicked you out of the nest.
Yes. I don't believe, that's a good question. I don't believe that I am a comedian if I'd have went to Tennessee. I don't believe that I am. I don't believe that I am. That's a good damn question.
Sometimes we have to be forced to do things. It's kind of like God, or sometimes to do things because he know you wouldn't do it on your own. So he'll put you in a situation you ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
You don't realize how far you can walk until you ain't got a car or transportation.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I really wanted to go.
Okay.
Your mom, your dad, and the relationship wasn't. Do you think you are the father that you are to your kids because of what it wasn't for you as a kid with your parents?
I do. I do feel that. I wish they could have been better in certain instances, because you have to realize our parents, not the youngs, but our parents didn't have the tools to show us and to teach us what we should be knowing.
Correct.
They didn't show us how to do bank accounts.
No.
They didn't show.
They didn't have one.
They didn't show. We learned on our own.
We're learning for the, yeah.
They didn't show us how to go into and fill out paperwork for a house.
Correct.
They didn't know how to do it.
Or credit.
Or credit. They didn't know.
Credit was what you got. You can go to the corner store and get something on credit.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna pay you at the end of the week, or I'll pay you at the beginning of next month.
Yeah.
That was credit. I didn't know credit was something that you build.
Yes.
That you could get a house, you can get a car, and it lowered your interest rate.
Point score.
Yes, I had no idea what that was.
Because they weren't afforded the tools.
Correct.
To know how to teach us, because they were too busy surviving.
Correct.
They were too busy surviving in the system of what a lot of black people went through. We didn't have generational money.
No.
My dad, believe it or not, went to one game I ever played. One. He never knew that my youth director out in Fort Hood, Texas, tried to molest me. He never knew that, because my dad would have killed him.
Is that why you didn't tell him?
That's exactly why I didn't tell him. And I was also ashamed that he would say, you let him do that? But then I get a call when I was a grown-up. He had messed with 8 other black boys on that team at the AYU. The wrestling team, he had 8 other boys. One of the, you know how your parents used to let you hang out with somebody?
Yeah.
We had another one. He was gay. He liked it. He didn't mess with me, but 8 other boys. All black boys, Fort Hood, Texas.
You know what happened to him?
I went looking for him. I called his name out over the air one time.
You think he's still alive?
I don't know.
What would you want to say? What would you tell him?
He's too old. He'd be too old for me to tell him anything. And I don't need to know why, because I know it's a deviant sickness.
Right.
I don't need to know why. I'm just thankful you didn't do me like you did some of them other other dudes.
Right.
But it's a deviant sickness. And I say deviant, not, it's a sickness, but there's deviant in there too.
Right.
I don't need to know why. I don't care to know why. If you're alive, you're alive. You dead, you're dead. Because you know what it didn't do? It didn't hurt me.
Wow.
Because I refused to let it control me. I also confused that our parents didn't have the tools to teach us.
Right.
Stop me from, look where you at.
Right.
Look what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let nobody take that from you. Don't.
Sometimes they try to trick you out your spot.
You know what? You see who your true friends are
Oh, yeah.
when they start fading. I hope everything works in your favor, man. But at the same time, I'm gonna say your big brother. You know better. If what you know you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put it that way.
Right.
And I just want you to, because when we didn't speak after,
Yeah.
that hurt me. Because my encounter with you was always good.
It was great. All the conversations always been great.
Always good. Then I found out how smart you are. When they say don't be the smartest one in your room, don't be the smartest one in your room. You definitely won't be with him. Y'all don't know how knowledgeable he is about history and sports and stuff. God, I thought I was good.
You are.
No, not like you, dog. Not like you.
You had a Netflix special called Racially Motivated.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice a difference negotiated with Netflix 2013 versus 2025?
I do, because I got somebody now who really takes care of my interests.
Okay.
My manager, Joe Eschenbach,
Mm-hmm.
is a beast. Not only is he a beast, he's truthful. I got a truthful crew with me.
Yeah. You need to be told that.
I can lay back and don't have to worry about my money. You'll never know that he got money by the way he dressed. But he's smart.
Mm-hmm.
This one's smart right here, Roderick Smart.
Right.
And I don't think I can lose with that combination.
Right. You got to surround yourself.
How
with
long
great
we're gonna
people.
be together, I don't know, but I can't lose with that combination.
You released your special on YouTube, Not Gonna Stop. What made you go straight to YouTube? It was because of Netflix wasn't willing to.
I think so, and then I was saying to myself, we were saying, let's not bother with it. Let's let you, because I didn't really like the special as much as I thought I could have done a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the elements and stuff. Sometimes it's not exactly the material, it's the elements, how it's presented.
Correct.
Everybody else said, no. I didn't believe that. But when I get a call in 5 days, you had 1 million views in 5 days?
Let you know you're doing something right.
And now at 1.5, come on.
Yeah.
My fams are the greatest. And even the new ones. Mwah. At this stage in the game, too?
Right. 35. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
To have that kind of longevity.
Yeah, and I just took my Pampers off. Huh? What? Oh,
1.6.
we're at 1.6 now. And we doing it in slices, and we're not even halfway through it.
Wow. We're going to get you out of here on this. I want to thank you personally for coming by Club Shay Shay. I'm glad we got an opportunity to reconnect. We're going to exchange information, and we're going to get back to where we were.
Okay.
I really appreciate that. I appreciate you stopping by. What else you got to promote? Anything else you want to promote?
You know what? I would have forgot. Where them bottles at?
Right
Where
there.
them bottles? Oh, they're over here.
Yeah.
This is my gift to you. And when I tell you, this is my sprays that I cannot keep, called A Motherfucker Smell Good.
Yeah.
I got offered to put these in a major store. They wanted me to change the name. And I said no.
Because this is how your brother.
Exactly. Don't ever let nobody take your vision.
We were talking before.
I have mint, lavender, rose.
I like this.
Yeah, I had to tell black people this ain't cologne though.
No, you can't spray it on your skin. you can't spray it on your skin.
You know, we will wear olive oil as lotion.
Yeah, for sure.
Smell how strong that mint is. You can spray on, smell how strong that mint is. That mint is powerful. That's all.
Yeah.
That mint will keep you open. Biodegradable, organic, oil-based.
This is my favorite. I think this one.
That's the rose, I think.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Let me see how big of a
It
tin.
ain't got no. It ain't
No,
got,
this is the rose. See that?
that's
little,
the man.
No, this is not. See that little pink right there? That's the rose. That's the brown.
I think you mislabeled it.
No, that's brown. Well, let me see what's in your hand. That's the rose. Let me see that one. Turn me the label. That's the brown.
You keep calling everything brown.
No, brown. See the labels, look. See the gold label?
Hell, I feel like I'm on Tyler Perry, one of Tyler Perry's plays. You keep saying Mr. Brown.
Premium gold brown.
Yeah.
And this is premium gold rose because it has that
Okay.
at the bottom. This is lavender.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I can see it got the purple.
I know you got thick glasses,
Yeah.
but look, that's mint.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
I sprayed the lavender. And when I tell you we can't even keep this product, we can't keep it.
Yeah, I like the lavender.
So if you want to,
Yeah.
So if you want to give it to somebody, fine. If not, and it smells good in your car. You taking a dump, hit that toilet with that mint, yah.
This lavender, I like lavender. I like lavender.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Because I have lavender candles.
Oh, okay. What was that? You all right? Is it spray? You all right?
Yep.
Is that a sneeze?
Yep.
Oh, it sounded
Oh,
like.
you thought it was something else, did you?
I thought he blew it out his ass. I didn't know that was a sneeze. I said, hey man, I don't be serving them no guacamole in here.
Arnez J, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
I love you. Love you. Appreciate you. Thank you, Jay.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life I've been grinding all my life.